Hello and welcome to the MinnMax Show, a place about games, friends, and getting better. I am Ben Hansen, joined by Jeff Marchiafava.
Hello.
And the always present Kyle Hilliard.
I'm here. I wasn't here last week, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, I guess that makes no sense. We also have Leo Vader.
Thank you.
Welcome. How's it feel to be back home, Leo?
Oh, so sweet. The air.
That's mainly cat fur, I believe.
All right.
Hey, this is a fun episode of the podcast. I don't care what y'all say. This is a fun one because first half, we are going to be running down the game release calendar for 2021. Even a couple times this very weekend, I was having discussions with a couple of hardcore cool gamers, and it came up of like, yeah, what is coming out this year? And I think it'd be nice just to kind of walk through, now that we're in August, things are starting to lock down a little bit, just to give you a good idea of how you can map out your gaming calendar. Yes, Leo?
I was surprised how many releases I'm looking forward to are still to come.
Yeah, because you think of like, oh, the big stuff's slipping, but it's like, no, there's still a shocking amount of good stuff here. And so we're going to be working our way through that. And then back half of the show, we're going to be joined by dear old friend Haley McLean, who somehow has never been on MinnMax stuff. It feels like a gross oversight, but she was a Game Informer intern. Then she was a co-host on Leo Vader's old podcast with other folks, Game Query. And now she has a new podcast called Game and Makeup. So it'll be fun to reconnect with her and answer some truly iconic community questions.
Wow.
Some amazing stuff that people submitted over there on Patreon. Okay, so here's the thing. We want to run down the release calendar for 2021, but nothing's worse, first of all, Jeffem, than the sound of my voice.
Absolutely.
You're supposed to say,
100%.
no. So we don't want to just be like, hey, here's this date. So we need to gamify it in some way. And if you recall, you're a champion if you recall this, because we barely did, but last year we played Release Calendar's 6-shooter duel, where we each had 6 shots to fire and to bang on the games that we actually wanted to play. But this year, we figured, well, we have people watching us live with the Backstage Pass here. If you're at the $10 tier, you can watch us record live every single week with pre- and post-show content and all that stuff. And we figured, well, let's rope them in this 6-shooter duel, and let's let them help determine who effectively gets to play these games. If you do not claim a game, you're not allowed to touch it. In fact, not allowed to think of it. If you think about this game and your excitement for it and you don't win it in this duel, murdered. Leo will murder you, including
promise.
himself if he thinks about a game.
Oh, no.
So we're going to be running down the calendar, and we're going to choose which games we are most excited about, which ones we want to play. Only one person can take it. So you then have to argue for why you should be the proper person, the prim and proper person to play this game. Yes, Leo. I mean, Kyle, question. Yes.
I don't remember much from last year.
Yeah.
But I do remember that Jeffem won Halo. Does he still retain
We'll get to that. Yes,
Great
absolutely.
question.
I have already prepared my defense for that, sir.
Interesting. All right, we'll get to it. Okay, only one person can come in, so we'll figure out who wants all this stuff, and then everybody in the Backstage Pass can help determine who you think deserves these games. Let's start out. August, the old doggy days of summer here. We got August 16th for the first biggie. And look, some might argue maybe this isn't a biggie, but that's what we're here to talk about. Road 96 releasing on Switch and PC. Leo Vader? He's shot his shot. Leo, what is this thing again?
It's a procedurally generated road trip type of indie game where there's a bunch of different paths you can take and choices you can make, and their log line kind of is that everyone's road trip will be different.
Yeah, it's a weird year for procedural narrative, you know? Like Wildermyth came out not too long ago. We should talk about it at some point on the show, but it is kind of like procedurally generated story, kind of like a D&D campaign, and I think it'd be a good one to stream. Maybe we can put it in the poll even next week for New Show Plus or something. But that basic premise of, hey, procedural narrative along a road trip, that's exactly your cup of tea?
Yeah, I am... Honestly, whenever I read the words procedural generation, my interest is piqued about a game. I truly just think it's such an interesting thing to do with games and leans into what I think makes them so special, which is that everyone can have a different experience with the same thing. and like coming together afterwards and sharing the stories of what you experienced and being like blown away by the completely different thing that happened to somebody else. That's just so invigorating to me about games right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it often gets a bad rap from people
Kyle.
like Kyle.
Yeah.
Those dastardly people. But it's like Kyle is right when it's bad procedural generation. I think we have to acknowledge that it's a tough thing to pull off, and we shouldn't throw out the entire mechanism with the bathwater just because some people screw it up. Like, and I think it's a mostly new idea, like a concept. And so, of course, there's going to be a lot of bad people that can't figure it out at first, but it's getting better and better and more interesting as we go on. So
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, Leo, but I'm not going to try and steal your game, so don't worry.
Unfortunately, folks, the Backstage Pass just insists that Jeffem get it instead of Leo. This
All
seems
right,
unnecessary.
all right.
He didn't even fire his shot, but my God.
Wait, is this where Backstage Pass is going to go? Is this like
No.
this just going to be trolling?
No, this is Leo. He's the only one to lay claim on Road 96. So congratulations. August 16th, we know where you'll be, Leo.
Chris Fader has a good point. Give
Oh.
all procedural games to Kyle until he gets it.
Shove it down his throat.
Do I shoot Kyle?
I think it's
Yes.
unclear. Yeah. Let's see.
Clear instructions unclear.
Before we started, Leo, you said that it's more like less about the 6-shooter duel shooting the games. It's more like we're all hungry little baby birds, greedy baby birds, and the Backstage Pass people are the ones that get to vote on who actually gets the juicy game worm in their mouth.
They're the mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually said that, but whatever.
Yeah, I think Leo said it
Credit
though because
Leo
it was
for
funny.
that.
There's no way of knowing who's
Yeah.
right, Jeff.
Inspired by me at the very least.
So
I always am in all things in life.
so maybe instead of bang, we could just make bird sounds?
Okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah, great.
Okay, great. Hang on, Kyle. Were you laying claim to Road 96 with that tweet effectively?
Oh, no. I
Okay,
just wanted
cool.
to try out my tweet.
Great. August 17th on PC only is a game called Humankind that I think is a little bit under the radar. This is Sega's, to have a crude, gross shorthand, this is Sega's Civ. This is their attempt at creating a Civilization-style game, which there's not, maybe in the AAA space, big publishers aren't really trying to take a bite at that apple too much, but it's from Amplitude Studios. It looks promising. I know they've had a lot of beta and a lot of testing out there, so I'm curious to see how Humankind does on August 17th. How you doing, baby birds?
I don't know if I'd heard of it.
Ah! Okay. August 19th. And by the way, no disrespect to these games if we aren't just clamoring for that worm,
In disrespect to these games, if we're calling them, bird food.
August 19th, releasing on Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC, we have 12 minutes. Jeep, jeep, jeep.
Tweet.
Oh, my, is Discord not picking up?
Oh, dang it. All right. We got three baby birds ready to eat 12 minutes here. 12 minutes. Kyle, are you excited about this?
Honestly, I mean, Leo's an expert on this now, but I do like sort of the looping stories in video games, and it's got a weirdly stacked cast, which makes me think like, oh, they're really like investing in this thing, both literally and creatively, so I just kind of want to see what it is,
Yeah, it seems to be a kind of the new, maybe not new, but kind of the Annapurna mold now. It's like, all right, 12 minutes, we're going to get Daisy Ridley and Willem Dafoe in this sucker. Mr. Young Professor X, what's his name? James McAvoy. Throw him in there too.
Mr. Split, we call him now.
That's right. Yeah, of course. And we stand a legend. I'm curious to see how it goes. There's been so much hype about this little indie game experience, I feel like, for like 2 years now. But Leo, as just an expert on time loops, because of your own personal YouTube channel at this point, that's up your alley.
Yeah, I love time loop stories. I've, of course, recently put many hours into the study of them. And for that reason alone, I deserve it. And because I'm a Willem Dafoe stan.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm looking forward to this one, but I don't know if I could take it away from your hungry bird bellies. So everybody in the Backstage Pass, let us know between the three of us.
Kyle, did you make any amazing YouTube videos about time loops recently? Just
Recently?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me think.
Or ever?
Not recently. Let me expand that to ever. No, I have not.
Okay.
All right.
But I did
Interesting.
really like
Food for
Palm
thought.
Springs. I thought that was a very good movie.
Okay, so factor that in, Backstage Pass. You got to call
I liked it more. I like Palm Springs more.
Oh my God. I mean, Leo, I think in honor of your video, you have to take this sucker.
Leo, I downloaded the Groundhog's Day VR game once and never played it.
All right.
Wow.
It's kind of evening out. Chris Fader in the Backstage Pass asks, is there a limit to how many game worms each cohort can get? No, that's for Backstage Pass to figure out, like, who's getting full on these game worms, who's still hungry for a game worm. You have to be just in your proceedings, I believe. But Leo, you can go ahead. Take 12 minutes, please.
Okay, I'm getting full already.
All right. We have August 20th, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Let me remind you.
Tweet.
I'm a bird. How's this work? I don't know.
This is rough. All right, Director's Cut.
I'm really genuinely excited for the Director's Cut because it's like I'm pretty sure I can pick up my save and play all the new single player content on PS5. So like I get to try the PS5 version and there's new content. So like I'm really genuinely excited. Even though it is, you know, basically like a deluxe re-release of the game, of a game that I really like a lot.
I'm excited for the Japanese lip sync. The lip sync matching the Japanese voice track, because that's how I've been playing that game, and it's very distracting that the lips don't match up.
Yeah. All right. I mean, Leo, do you think you'll play through this game with the Director's Cut?
Well, I haven't beaten it yet, so I might finish it with the Director's Cut.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like you should be able to, which is cool. Like if you've started it on PS4, I think you can hop over and finish it on PS5. I think your save moves over and everything. Because if that wasn't an option, I would actually be less excited. I don't want to have to replay the whole game to see the new stuff. I just want to be able to play the new stuff, you know? Which I think I can do with this.
Right, and this is the one that comes with the new island and all that stuff, right? New story content, everything like there. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
New animals, I think, yeah.
And Kyle, where was this game on your top 10 list last year?
Interesting.
It was number 1, my friend.
Oh,
It
interesting.
was my favorite game.
I mean, at this point, yeah, Kyle, you have to take Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. There's just no debate
I
here.
win.
Take it.
I
did it, you
accept
guys.
that.
August 20th.
Hanson,
Yeah.
at some point, are you ever going to let the community actually make the choice? Or?
They should get on the ball with these worms in their mouths and start spitting it out, because they're very thoughtful and taking a long time. But you know, this can't be a 4-hour-long bird segment. All right, let us know if you're outraged by these choices, people in the Backstage Pass. Shazira says it all sounds fine so far. All right.
right.
August
We
20th,
Yeah, mommy.
Madden NFL 22. This is the one for 2022. And lo and behold, August 24th on PlayStation 5 and Xbox and everywhere, Aliens Fireteam Elite. The co-op Aliens game that Kyle and I technically played a little bit.
I'm not tweeting for this, but I would like to query you guys as to whether I should care about this game.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because you like Left 4 Dead a lot, right?
But Left 4 Dead is good. I don't know if this one is. That's
I think this
the
is
ultimate question.
based on our little experience, you know, is like, oh, this is better than I thought it was going to be. I don't think it's going to light the world on fire by any means. Here's my query for the group. Is somebody who didn't play a lot of Left 4 Dead back in the day, I find it hard to believe that even with stuff like Back 4 Blood, that somebody, I'm not pointing fingers, but somebody like a Jeffem or a Kyle is going to take the dedicated multiplayer time and get a group of friends together and play this co-op. It feels like we're all nostalgic about
100%.
Left 4 Dead, but who is actually going to convince
one's
multiple
gonna do
friends to buy Fireteam Elite and play it?
Leo,
there's a reason I
possibly.
didn't
If anyone could, it would be Leo, I think.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't make a bird noise for that reason, basically. I liked what I played, and I'm optimistic about that game, but realistically, I don't think I would have time. I don't really play a lot of multiplayer games in general.
Sad but true.
And if you won't even make a bird noise for a game, then you know, how much do you care about it?
That's exactly what I'm thinking, man. Oh, by the way, thanks to Game Informer for a wonderful rundown of all these release dates. Specifically, Margaret over there, I would argue, who's programmed up this entire game release calendar, which is very handy. I think it's just gameformer.com/2021 if you want to check out an ever updating list. So shout out to Mama Bird Margaret. Let's see. August 25th, Psychonauts 2. Kyle, they're making a second one of these.
Emphatic tweet. Wait, is that you throwing your your hat in the ring?
I had something in my throat, actually.
Did you play Psychonauts 1?
Yes, but it made me very nauseated, and I could not physically get past the milkman stage, so I had to stop there.
Oh, no. Well, I think I'm a bigger fan because I didn't get sick. So
yeah,
he's got a good
that
form.
is true. Yeah, Kyle, where's your general hype at for Psychonauts 2?
I'm high. It's one of those games that I'm kind of ignoring at this point. Like for the reason that I just want to go in as blind as possible. Like I'm not watching trailers or anything like that. I'm really excited to pick up that story. I played the VR game, and enjoyed it.
So did I. So did I.
A narrative extension. Oh, dang.
You can't give it there.
But yeah, no, I'm excited. It's also one that like I'm excited to play with my kid because she's into Psychonauts. Like we played a bunch of the original within the last year, and so I can't wait for that sort of. It's been a while since we've had a good like Double Fine narrative game. You know what I mean? I think the last one was like Broken Age for me. I mean, they've released other games with narratives, but like a nice like Tim Schafer really having his hands on this thing. I feel like there hasn't been one of those in a little while.
Yeah. May I argue, however, that with Dramamine making a big impact in my life recently, every time I'm playing a game that makes me really nauseated, which is almost all of them at this point,
Space, right?
now I have that secret cheat pill. And so now I can really like savor Psychonauts 2 and dive in and not be scared of it, not scared it's going to make me break out in a cold sweat like that original game is. And I'd argue, Kyle, I've watched Double Fine Adventure more than you have. I'd argue I'm Two-Player Productions.
Look, you're more
biggest
interested in the studio and the sort of development behind the scenes.
True.
I'm invested in Raz's story and what comes next. I'm not interested in how they made it. I just want to know about Raz. What's going on with Raz and his friends?
Did you even know
Raz.
that was his name, Hanson?
How dare you? Absolutely. Raz Carsey. I know all the details about Psychonauts. You can't stop me.
What's the camp leader's name?
I know it.
The guy that thinks there's a bear and he's Russian. I don't know. What is it, Leo?
Well, actually, I don't know if he's the leader of the camp. Coach Oleander?
He's not the camp
There you
leader.
go.
What?
Who's the
He just
camp leader,
named a
then?
character. Look, the point is we're looking forward to Psychonauts.
What's the
2.
professor's name?
The one that looks like Frankenstein?
Likes bacon.
I don't know. Look.
Do you know, Kyle? You could win this game right now.
You were supposed to ask me. No, I don't know. I was bluffing my way through this.
Honestly, I didn't even know if there was a professor in it. Both of those were
Yeah,
guesses.
right. Look, it was 2005. It was a long time ago, everybody.
Tweet. I think I can swoop in.
Oh, wow. Unfortunately,
this is going. I think I can swoop in and take
we
it.
have several mama birds that insist on feeding Kyle at this point. So I guess Kyle gets Psychonauts 2. So I hope you enjoy it on August 25th. So it's coming out on PC, both Xboxes, and PlayStation 4. But as far as I understand, there's not a PlayStation 5 version of it. There's just the Series X version of it. That's kind of like that little Microsoft boost and all that. So should be a fun time. August 27th. Exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. It's coming, Jeffem. You can't stop this sucker from releasing if you wanted to. 11 years since the last full entry in the series. Here it is, Jeffem.
Get
Ready
ready.
to tweet. I'm ready to chirp.
No More Heroes 3. Now, this is the point when I wish I had a sound recording of Surreal making a chirp-like sound, but unfortunately, he is not on this episode. So let's just give him that one, right?
Yeah.
he can
What's
have
that?
Yeah,
It would be offensive for us to take it from him.
that's right. August 31st, August 31st, New World is releasing on PC. The game that we all... Oh, yes, Leo.
Tweet.
Oh, that was a tweet, everybody. A game that we're all ready to hate. And, you know, Amazon, people love to dunk on that company left and right, and especially in their uneven attempts in the game space. And then they released a beta for this and people were like, this is actually pretty cool. It's like a PvP focused MMO. I'm actually digging this more than I thought. Leo, what caught your eye about New World?
Literally nothing until I heard proximity voice chat was in it, which is so interesting for an MMO.
That's it, really?
All right.
Yeah, that alone will make me try it. Actually, maybe not because it's $40, but we'll see.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a subscription though. I think it's just that one-time buy, and for an MMO, that's pretty cool.
Like a Prime subscriber or something, or that's just totally
my
separate?
tweet should get it for me also, right?
Yeah,
tweet here.
Yeah, I think you're taking it. Yeah, Chris Fader says that you got it. Yeah, congratulations on getting New World. But it's a freaking new world for MMOs out here. Like 2021 is so weird to have the larger storyline being all hail Final Fantasy 14. Not based on an expansion just releasing or anything, but just like everybody slowly realizing that game is better and better and better, and everybody jumping over there and jumping off the WoW ship. Obviously, Blizzard in the last couple weeks has been, another reminder that like maybe we should go support another company. And then like New World is an Amazon MMO, and I have like people like friends of the show. Grant is texting me about it, like, hey, should I get into this New World thing? That's just bizarre. Like it's really making the rounds.
Yeah, it's interesting. Final Fantasy 14, I have a friend who plays both, and he says, like Final Fantasy 14 is pretty much just WoW, except now people can play it without feeling tremendously guilty.
That sounds great. By the way, is it the Matrix, Leo? I feel like that cat's tail has walked by the camera like 4 different times, like deja vu here.
They're coming for you.
He smells the birds.
Oh my God. All right.
Does Final Fantasy 14 have a subscription?
I believe so.
Yeah.
But they have like 346-day free trial at this point. Like they're doing anything they can.
Actually, like you can play. It's story gated. You can play for free for a long time, but then when you hit a certain point in the story, you have to start playing. And
Gotcha.
from what I understand, that path to get to that point in the story is substantial.
Is that just the difference here of like MMOs making a big splash again? Is that most of them you just don't have to pay for now?
Could be interesting. Yeah, maybe. I think there's also a lot of nostalgia.
Like a recurring subscription thing?
Yeah, it could be. Just people are getting smarter about dishing that out. Yeah. All right. September 1st, there's an indie game called Lake that was shown off during E3. It's coming out to PC and the Xboxes. Was that a sound, Leo?
Tweet.
Wow.
Tweet. That's my birthday, so I get it.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And this is the one where you play as a mailman wandering around and delivering mail. But it looks beautiful, believe it or not. At a
lake?
It's around a lake. I'm trying to recall based on the trailer I saw during E3, but...
Yeah, you return to your home to deliver mail for 2 weeks.
All right. Take it, Leo. That's an indie game forever heard it. Congratulations.
Happy birthday,
taking
Leo.
Lake.
Thank you.
September 7th, we have F.I.S.T. Forged in Shadow Torch. If you recall, this is the one with kind of the mechanical looking bunny.
Side scroller?
Yeah, side scroller. It kind of looks like a good playing Abe's Odyssey or something, but stylish action 2D side scroller.
I'll cut you off there and just tweet it, Hanson. I'll make the bird noise because this was on my list. I think it looks cool. I don't have like a big push for why I want to play it, but it's like this looks interesting and I want to try it.
And when you're like bird watching and then you have your binoculars and you just look at a tree and then a bird in the tree says, "I'll make the bird noise."
Tweet.
There it is. Take it, Kyle. Congratulations.
Chirp.
Let's see. We have September 10th, Life is Strange True Colors. Life is Strange True Colors. The third Life is Strange game. I know Haley McLean, friend of the show, will be on later in this very episode, is very much looking forward to it. This is the third entry where the superpower is empathy. Seems great though. Seems great. No harm done.
I'm sure it'll be great. I didn't play the second one, so what I even know.
You're gonna be lost. You're gonna be lost. Yeah,
I only got about halfway through the first one.
I did like that first one a lot, but I think I might have tapped out. If this one is like off the charts review wise, I will happily jump into Life is Strange True Colors.
I would love to watch a great crew play through Life is Strange True Colors,
like from your own YouTube, like from first person.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, September 9th, just to go back in time a little bit, there is the Artful Escape. which is another Annapurna joint. Do you remember this one? Have you seen this one? You play as like a kid in a band who has like a alter ego, and they just revealed that Jason Schwartzman is in it and Carl Weathers. It's very Wes Anderson-y. It looks really cool, actually. I'll take that. I'll take Artful Escape. Artful Escape for me, please.
You got it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Then we have September 10th, we have Lost in Random. This is the EA publisher thing. EA's been on a really good streak for releasing these smaller indie games recently. This is the one that is a 3D platformer. It looks almost like a darker Double Fine game in a lot of ways. It's interesting that it's coming out so close to Psychonauts 2. And then the big hook here is that it's card-based for certain elements of the platforms. Yes, Leo?
Yes. We saw the same thing, and that seemed to be what it was.
Yeah.
Fiction-wise, like it looks cool world, cool story, but the card element, just personal preference, kind of turns me off. So
it's interesting that
How
they're at
do
least trying
cards
it.
play into the platforming?
You'll have to go back and watch that EA play to try and figure. I think it's like
No, you tell me now.
It's something
and do it
about.
politely,
I remember
sir.
you can like roll your dice because the die is like your little buddy companion thing, and then you'll do more damage based on that. And I forget what the cards do exactly, but something in that arena as well.
Different attacks and stuff are definitely on cards. They're coming up one at a time. Your spells you can do.
Yeah. Now, Neil Smith is getting nice and freaky in the Backstage Pass. He says that the tweets have been okay, but I'm not seeing the bright red gullet of each cohort that signals where I should regurgitate the game worms. All right, I guess we'll have to show them next time around. Oh, wait, Kyle, is that you claiming Lost in Random?
No, I don't want it. I'm good.
Okay, great. September 10th, we have NBA 2K22. I'm sure it'll do well and so well, and we'll all move on with our lives. Then also September 10th, we have Tales of Arise.
Sports games get such a bad rap.
I know.
That and Madden are going to be like the two highest selling games, and those I feel sorry for those teams because it's just a constant treadmill of trying to update everything. They're always trying to add new improvements, but then they have to do an entire roster of all of the players of the actual sport. It's an insane achievement, and I appreciate all the work that they put into it.
But we're not showing you our gullet for it. We'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right. September 10th, we have Tales of Arise releasing on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And to that, I say, something like that.
Why would you say that?
Sorry, it just came to me. I'm excited about this. Like, I really liked Tales of Destiny 2 and Tales of Symphonia, and I have dabbled in the Tales series ever since, but I haven't finished one since Symphonia, which seems crazy. But, it's Game Informer's new cover story. I listened to the Game Informer Show podcast with a friend of the show, Kim Wallace, talking about it. It seems like they're trying to take some big swings, go for some big overhauls of the systems overall. And just the idea of like, okay, first next gen Tales game. I'm rooting for them, and I don't know. I'm good for one big JRPG a year, and I don't know what else it would be if it wouldn't be this. So I'll eat that worm. Thank you very much.
Enjoy it.
I will. Oh no. Now I'm full. September 10th, we have WarioWare Get It Together releasing on
Hanson's
Switch.
full.
I'm not that
Everyone
full.
know that Hanson can't eat anything else right now.
I'm not that
chirp,
full.
Chirp.
This is like, there's always room for like
Come on,
ice
it was
cream.
a JRPG, Hanson. You're full for like the next 4 months.
Oh, God. But yeah, chirp for WarioWare Get It Together. Who's chirping on this bad boy?
I'm chirping. I'm chirping this sucker.
Jeff apparently forgot where his bird mouth was. It's really startling.
I got lots of games on my list. I don't know if I was looking at the wrong year or what.
Yeah, this is 2021. WarioWare Get It Together. I am very excited about this game. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'll be playing it on day one, guaranteed. But as we mentioned, I'm still.
Hold on, don't get ahead of yourself. You're not allowed to. If
You'll play
when
it
I
on
get
day
it.
one, or you'll forget that it exists. Otherwise, you will be smoten.
Oh no, Kyle, how are you feeling about WarioWare Get It Together?
I can't wait. They could have called this game WarioWare on Switch, and that's all I needed. Like sure, give it to me.
Okay, and you're saying you have no trepidation about the changes this time around.
Yeah, see,
Well,
I would have tweeted, but but it's that fact that you're a little Wario or whatever in there on every single mini game. I don't want that.
It's true. Shazira points out the backstage pass. I feel like Hansen had a lot of emotions on reveal and stuff to say, just a lot of joys and concerns. So I'm maybe the most emotional about WarioWare, Kyle.
I don't know. I adore WarioWare. I WarioWare smooth moves. I remember getting it, bringing it to my friend's house, being so excited to play multiplayer, and going, oh dang it, we have to beat single player first. And then we did, and it was a blast. And then we played multiplayer. And then I brought it to another friend's house, and I did it again.
It's pretty impressive. And you are going to be playing co-op. You're going to be getting it together. Is your girlfriend going to be into this, Leo?
I think she is, for sure. We love party games like that.
Okay. All right. Between the three of us, Backstage Pass, we have one vote for me. Kent Blink says Day One Hansen will be playing Tales of Arise instead. Yes, look, it's a ding. I understand it's a small ding on my bird mouth, but we still need the final verdict on who's going to be playing this. Oh, Shazira says me. Hell's Fury says Kyle. Hey, Kyle, I hate to tell you. Oh, wait. Brian says give it to Leo. Do it for love.
I'm slowly forgetting about, what was that game? I think it was like it was the boss from Super Mario Land 2. It's like his game, I think.
Okay. All right.
I can't remember.
Doing it for love.
It's gone from my memory.
Leo, because I had a ding against me, we'll give it to you. WarioWare, get it together. Congratulations.
Wow.
We'll play it together.
I'm killing it right now.
Yeah, hey, just for the record, Leo, you want to remind everybody of what everybody has?
I have Road 96 and 12 minutes. Kyle has Ghost of Tsushima's Director's Cut and Psychonauts 2. I have New World.
And Fist. I have
Lake,
Fist as well.
And WarioWare. And Kyle also has Fist. And Hansen has Tales of Arise and Artful Escape.
Okay. And Jeffem is just a skeleton in a nest?
I assume I'll be able to play a game one of these days. But.
All right. I asked the jury to remember how many games Leo has in his stomach. September 14th, we have Deathloop finally releasing.
Objection, hold on.
Yes.
I'm afraid I will show you right now. It's been on my desk for a year. This is the list from the last time we did that. And as you can see, I'm the rightful owner of Deathloop. So I will ask you all to get that name and the thoughts of it out of your mouths and brains because I already own it for the end of time.
Whew. The Backstage Pass is the jury.
With that.
Yeah, they need to make the call. I don't know where this one's standing. I guess if you already locked it in.
What was your argument for it?
You can't remember because it's been erased from your mind, Leo.
Oh.
I won it, but I am super excited. I have liked all of those games. I especially like the idea that it's all, like a pseudo roguelike this time around, but you're going to be getting better and learning like all of the locations and stuff like that. Kind of piecing together a playthrough sounds more interesting than just another kind of open world or level based, assassinate this guy while you're in this location. I like that whole angle to it.
And now just to be clear, Jeff, I'm all for you playing this, but I must ask, will you be playing this game on your high-end PC or on your PlayStation 5?
Hey, you know what? We don't have to talk about that right now. I got time to figure it out.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, he's not going to find a PlayStation 5 before this comes out. In fact, may I remind you, he had the opportunity to get a PlayStation 5 and he said, nay, I'm fine because there's nothing that I'm looking forward
to. Like a drug addict? Come on,
like a drug addict. He passed on the opportunity for Deathloop. I say that opens it up. It's fair game now.
No, hey, I agree with all this, but the rules are the rules.
You're just going to look at a case.
You can't even argue, Hansen, because you don't know what game we're talking about because it's been erased from your mind for eternity.
What are you going to do? Paint the code on your wallpaper? You got nothing.
It's all the more tragic that I may not even play it, but the rules are the rules.
I don't think there are rules in this scenario. What, you shot it last time and now it's a worm that you also get to eat? I think they're separate.
The game has been erased from your mind. You don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
All right. I guess we don't know what anybody's talking about. Moving on to September 21st.
I could have sworn I almost tasted a worm.
Maybe you're thinking of this one. It's Kenna Bridge of Spirits, releasing on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and PC on September 21st. action RPG, action adventure might be a better way to put it. The animation looks wonderful. The art looks wonderful. Oh,
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
oh,
Chirp.
oh. We got some baby
I'll
bird
go
goats here.
ahead and plant my stake in that I do have a PlayStation 5, so I can play Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
It's also on
It's
PS4.
also coming to PS4.
Also PS4. To be fair,
I can play the best version of Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
Oh, come on.
Kyle, what has you excited about Kenna Bridge of Spirits?
I just love me a good narrative, action adventure game that has a lot of production values and great animation. Like it just looks great. I just really want to play it. I like that genre, whatever you want to consider it, like where you're sort of action growing your character over the course of a story. I'm into it.
Action.
I can definitely see Kyle passionately explaining it to us in the Game of the Year debates.
I can see that too.
As Leo checks Twitter.
Yeah, it's pretty good these days, by the way. You guys should really check Twitter out.
It says a bird. I love it.
All right, Shazira says, I see Kenna for Kyle. That feels right. I'm sorry, Jeffem. Despite your passionate plea on behalf of Kenna,
Yeah,
it's
honestly,
slipping from your hands.
it just it looks pretty.
Okay.
And I don't know much beyond that.
All right, now here's one that it'll take a very brave soul to chirp. September 23rd, releasing on a PC, Diablo 2 Resurrected. The hot new Blizzard joint. This is a saga of Diablo over the last 5 years. Just think of that roller coaster ride. Even just like Diablo since the release of Diablo 3 has just been in the gutter with the launch of Diablo 3, with the auction house stuff, Error 37, all that funky stuff. Climbed back out till everyone says Diablo 3 is actually great now. You guys should really check it out. Then they announced Diablo Immortal. Everybody says, I will now light myself on fire in protest of this mobile game. Then they announced Diablo 4. People got excited. Then Diablo Immortal was in a test phase and people were like, actually, it's pretty good. It's kind of cool to have Diablo on your phone. Then they announced Diablo 2. People were very excited. Diablo 4 delays. People got less excited. And now Blizzard is in flames and people don't know what to feel. And
I was about to say, don't forget that the state of California sued Blizzard for for being an awful place to work that needs to be addressed.
So the point is, September 23rd, Diablo 2 Resurrected will release, and there will be mini think pieces about, should we be going back to this old game? It'll be an interesting phase. And that's what reminds me
Never seen baby birds turn down a worm.
It's interesting at a protest.
Yeah, what's the opposite of a bird tweet? Is it like a dog bark? Should I dog bark at this one?
Everybody knows the opposite of a bird tweet is a dog bark. That's in science, I think.
To be kind of pessimistic, I actually was like, I don't love that genre, and I don't think a remake of Diablo 2 is going to convince me, really. Like, I don't know. It's never been for me. Which
I do like that genre, but controversy aside, like, I would rather continue playing Diablo 3 or wait for Diablo 4 than playing a remake of an older Diablo.
Yeah.
I understand why people would be huge fans of that if that was the one that they played a ton of. I had not gotten into Diablo until the third one, so I have no nostalgia for whatever they did that was supposedly so much better in that one.
Mm-hmm. September 23rd also sees the release of Sable. The indie game, we streamed it not too long ago on our Twitch channel. Kind of beautiful art, kind of desaturated colors, desaturated purple and blue feels Sable-ish. And then it's kind of going for a Breath of the Wild style. Kyle, have you paid much attention to Sable?
Yeah, I'll chirp, baby, chirp. I want to play Sable. Yeah.
All right, you're taking it, Kyle. Enjoy it. Then we have September 24th, PlayStation 5 exclusive. This is Death Stranding Director's Cut. Oh, Leah, what is your Death Stranding history?
I played it for a few hours and I thought parts of it were cool, but it didn't stick with me. And I feel like it'll be a good excuse to try it again as a director's cut. Because so much like the way people describe it sounds so cool. The interconnectedness and like building things that are in other people's worlds and vice versa. That weird layer of social interaction. And I honestly didn't get far enough to see a lot of that. So I would like to someday give that game another try.
Yeah, and Sarah Podzorsky, MinnMax's streaming compatriot, just streamed through the entire thing, and I think naturally streaming the back half of that game is a slog. So it's like it is a long journey, but it did remind me that, yeah, I'd like to check it out, but I'll just check out the PC version instead of the director's cut here.
Do we know if that's like a ghost?
I don't know. It seems PlayStation 5 exclusive. Yes, Kyle.
Do we know if it's a Ghost of Tsushima situation where like everything I did on PS4, like that save, will that come forward so I can just see the new stuff without having to replay the game?
I would imagine, but I don't know. September 24th also sees the release of Lost Judgment.
Did I get Death Stranding?
Oh yeah, take it, dude.
Oh, yeah, take it.
Lost Judgment, the sequel to the side series from the Yakuza series, releasing on PlayStation 5, all the Xboxes, PlayStation 4, all that good stuff. Not on PC though. Interesting. There's that whole saga about the actor not wanting to be on PC, or at least the weird reps not wanting him to be on PC. Yeah, Lost Judgment. Did anybody play Judgment, period?
I played a couple hours of it.
Okay.
Not bad.
Okay.
I'd chirp if no one else is chirping.
Take that chirp.
I'm just going to go in quantity today. Getting that belly full.
Remember that for the big ones coming up, everybody. We have October 5th, Super Monkey...
Hanson?
Yes, sir.
Point of order.
Yes, sir.
I believe on September 2nd, 2021, you skipped Kataria Fables.
What is that?
It looks like a delightful, cute animal RPG with crafting and farming elements.
Would you like to
chirp it?
Oh, we got.
I don't know if there are bird characters in there, but I'm going to go ahead and say chirp, 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 chirp.
Wow,
he's chirping.
Kataria Fables, Kitaria. I'll put the list of all these games in the description for.
It looks really cute.
Here.
It's coming to Switch. It looks like another perfect, kind of sit down and do some farming and run around as a cute little animal character for a while.
Yeah.
Sword. And confirm, It does look cute. Jeffem is right on this one.
Perfect. Okay. Well, then how about October 5th, though? When releasing on every system known to man, we have Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania.
Now with Jet Set Radio Future characters? I think that was like today I saw
Yep. They added that character. And it seems like they're going to be doing more and more of that kind of Sega crossover for this stuff. I love Super Monkey Ball 2, one of my favorite GameCube games.
Name every monkey.
I. Baby.
Oh, sure. Of course he starts with I.
Yeah.
Typical.
There's Baby. There's some unplayable character. I don't
Just
remember.
give it to him. He clearly knows.
Somebody else chirped, did they not?
I chirped. Did you chirp, Hanson?
Oh, I did more than chirp. I monkey chirped. Chimps can chirp. Yeah, they chirped for mating.
I don't know. I was
He's made a pretty compelling argument so far. He knew the name.
I love monkeys. I love balls. What more can I say?
Have you ever played a
bananas
monkey?
in there? I eat a banana every day.
Have you played a monkey ball game?
Yes, of course I've played monkey ball games. Why would I be chirping if I didn't play monkey ball?
Wouldn't be able to tell from your love, but I'm excited for all the mini games to come back. You got the monkey ball bowling, you got the big ramp thing and the monkey flying where you unhook the little capsule and go land on the target. I think this is going to be a delightful little experience in early October. Oh, please. Monkeys.
I can't tell which of you two is more likely to experience Banana Mania in your life.
I do feel like Jeffem would look funnier if he put his ears out and puffed out his cheeks like a monkey. And
Hey, I like
give
that.
it to him. Give it to him.
Jeffem gets it.
All right.
There you go.
October 7th, we have Far Cry 6 releasing on Stadia and Mac and PC and everything else.
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
Whoa. Chirp,
All
chirp,
versions.
chirp. Leo, what do you got? Why are you so pumped for Far Cry 6?
It's Far Cry is such a known quantity. If they surprise me, great. If not, I'll still have a fine time.
Yeah, and I'm in the camp of it's been a while since I've really sunk my teeth into a Far Cry game, even though it feels like, they were releasing those every 4 months for a period there. It certainly felt like, especially with like the DLC for 5, which I played a couple of those and they were cool just to have like a self-contained little Far Cry experience. I'm always a sucker for a kind of abbreviated version of that. But I'm in the mood to help you, dude. I'm excited about Far Cry 6.
Yeah, the gap since the last one definitely makes me more ready for it. It's disappointing that it won't have a map editor, though. Like, that was one of the most interesting parts about 4 and 5.
Oh, yeah? You got into
There were
that?
people remaking Shadow Moses as an outpost, as a snowy outpost that you'd clear like Far Cry.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Kyle is frozen. So I think, Leo, I think you can take it. I think your passion for Far Cry 6 is overwhelming.
I DDoSed him.
Yep, nice. Take it, Leo. It's all yours. And then, lo and behold, on October 8th, the Nintendo Switch exclusive comes out. And Jeffem, if you're not able to guess it, you don't deserve a shot.
Yeah, of course, it's Mario Dread.
Mario
You
Dread.
know what? That's a knock against him
Metroid
right
Dread.
there. No, you said Mario
He said
Dread,
Mario
so
Dread.
I'm going to go ahead and pounce on you, and I'm going to
He was
take
thinking
Metroid
Mario
Dread.
Andretti.
Of course.
Metroid
Make it any
Dread.
better.
All right, yeah, who's all chirping for Metroid Dread?
Chirp, chirp,
For
chirp.
Metroid Dread.
All right. Kyle, where are you at? I mean, Kyle did just replay Fusion to get prepared for Metroid Dread. That seems pretty god darn convincing.
And I played and 100% completed Samus Returns, which makes me a super Metroid fan. Wait,
That's
hold on.
right.
A Metroid
What
fan who
about
is
the
super.
actual Super Metroid? Kyle?
Yeah.
A game I've also
Is it your
played and
favorite
beaten.
game of all time?
No, okay, this guy, he's playing a crooked game. He also would argue that Super Mario World is his favorite game of all time.
Yeah, it's actually not my
All right,
Super
it's
Metroid's
done.
like number 3.
Jesus.
Is it? Can you beat third favorite game of all time, Kyle?
Well, how about this? I really love Mercury Steam, and I think Castlevania Lords of Shadow is incredible, and I'm always rooting for that studio
Does
to have their
not count one bit. Go play a Castlevania game.
All right,
You're done.
pop quiz, Kyle. Name another Mercury Steam game that isn't.
Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2.
Yeah.
And then the Raiders of the Lost Planet that got renamed to something else. And then
good.
Metroid Samus Returns.
Is renamed to Space Lords. I'm sorry, I was
and-
looking
and,
for the name Space
Castlevania
Lords.
Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate. There you go. Boom.
I mean,
in your face.
done deal. Kyle, you deserve Metroid Dread. Yeah.
Is the audience ever going to get to vote on something, or if you just
Well, if you want
this
the audience
just
input,
Hanson land
it's
now?
Kill Slayer saying
King
that
Hanson's going to just
hey, let me tell you which way the king's judging. Killslayer in the backstage pass says Jeffem disqualified himself. No worms for liars. So if you want the people to vote, that's the way you're going, buddy.
Also, he called it Mario Dread. Like, you can't
Exactly.
get away.
And lied about
I
it
was
being
so
his
happy
favorite game.
that I knew
No,
what the game
moving
was.
on.
I stumbled a little bit.
Moving
I got
on.
the dread
Gavel,
right.
gavel, gavel, gavel.
See,
Back
once
for
again,
blood.
Hanson has made himself the judge, apparently.
No, the people are judging you.
I want
Harshly.
democracy.
Oh
Look,
my
vote.
God.
That's what the
There we
shirt
go.
says.
Oh God. The point is that
They
October
did vote for
12th,
me, Jeff. That's the thing.
Back for Blood's
One
releasing on
person, Kyle?
October 12th.
Three.
This is the Left 4 Dead style game.
Yes, I'm cheaping for
from-
that too. Cheap, cheap, cheap.
Chirp, chirp, chirp. I'm
You
looking
can
for,
have it, Jeff.
I love Turtle Rock more than I love Left 4 Dead style games, so it's a little bit like one of those Double Fine situations where I'm rooting for the studio in a big bad way. But Jeff, I'm Back for Blood. Will you play this with a group of beloved peers?
Maybe.
What are you going to
He
do?
doesn't want to
Play-
get caught in another lie.
No, that's not a lie. I'm
Lord.
being honest, but it depends on if other people are actually playing it.
Okay, if I swear to God, if I got this game with you, Jeff, and you're making the case that I shouldn't be able to, if I got this game and I texted you on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. and said, will you play Back for Blood with me tonight? Genuinely, I put the odds of that at 1%.
No, I would actually play that
All right.
because I am actually looking forward to it.
All right. Well, then take it, buddy. It's yours. Back for Blood. Enjoy.
But I will allow you to not forget that game comes out and actually please let's actually play it because
Okay.
I don't.
I'll schedule that text for Wednesday at 7 o'clock. October 22nd.
I'm busy that day, guys. Just a heads up.
I figured.
Yeah,
October 22nd, we have the release of Battlefield 2042.
Chirp.
It's a scary bird.
That's my military chirp. Chirp.
All right. Leo, what do you got? Why are you so excited about 2042?
I've been loving Battlefield 5 lately, and honestly, I'm not into World War II as a setting that much, and I'm loving it despite that because it's so goofy still.
Yeah.
But the idea of a futuristic setting with grappling and more interesting powers, more modern levels, not to mention the what are they calling it? The
Portal.
map creator stuff?
Yeah, Portal.
Portal, yeah. Portal is going to be a ton of fun. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it too, but Leo, I can't take this from you. Shazira said it feels very Leo. So
I mean, just my headshot rate alone.
Yep.
Share me this one.
No doubt about it. October 26th, coming to every system, including the Switch. I forgot about this. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy from Eidos Montreal. Chirp! Ooh, we got simultaneous chirps. Kyle, how are you feeling about this one?
Good. I like the idea of a single player Marvel game. Like Marvel's Avengers didn't do it for me. I don't really like that style of game, the multiplayer focus. I like the Spider-Man approach, where it's like we're making a single player campaign off of these characters that you like. We're telling a unique story. And the Guardians of the Galaxy, in terms of the MCU, are probably like my favorite batch of characters. Like I'm a loser who didn't really know about them before the first movie, and I really like those movies, and they're like some of my favorite characters of that whole franchise. So
yeah,
I want to play it.
If this game comes out and it gets 7.5, will you still play it?
309.
There's a good chance I would still play it. Yeah. Like if we're dipping into the 6s or the 5s, then it's like I should probably stay away. But like that high 7, mid 7s, like that sometimes those games that sort of score there still have something for me.
Okay. All right. Kyle, I'll let you take.
That sounds like a Kyle game.
Yeah, I'll let you take Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, but if you don't play it, so help me God. All right.
I would say I
can't wait
would
to be
have
mean to Groot.
I would have gone for the Avengers expansion if that was on this list. That's coming out in August.
Oh, yeah, the War for Wakanda. Oh, really?
They had a free weekend, and a bunch of my friends are playing it, and they're like, we're kind of waiting on one of us to buy it before the rest of us decide to, and then the seal broke, and now they all have it, and I reinstalled it, and it's Avengers time, baby.
Wow, and that's still kind of like your podcast zone out, just good time with friends, forget the story mode, right?
That's the plan for it, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been off it for a while, though.
That's cool. October 26th, Solar Ash.
Chirp. Heart Machine made this game for me, and I thank them for it.
Okay, what is Solar Ash? Remind us, Kyle.
It's from the studio that made Hyper Light Drifter. It looks kind of in that vein. I think it might even be an extension of that universe. It's just very colorful. You're this like character that can climb and leap and like swim across clouds, and there's like you're fighting what looks like Shadow of the Colossus style giant bosses. It's got Disaster Piece is doing the soundtrack again.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. I might be wrong about Disaster Piece, but Hyper Light Drifter is like incredible, and like to see them sort of like go big for the sequel with like a 3D action game is I'm into it.
Yeah, Killslayer says
making fun of me. I don't know. What
you froze for a second. You look like a
froze
stupid
with your
baby
mouth
bird,
open, like a baby bird,
like a little baby bird
for his word.
Killslayer says,
Ready?
Kyle.
Here's me ingesting Solar Ash.
Ew. Killslayer is
It's
the
my
next
most
best.
anticipated game of the year by a pretty wide margin.
Just take it. Just take
Cool.
it. Just take it.
Give it to me.
Okay, take the little worm. October
Still be
28th.
polite about it.
Yeah, October 28th, the PC exclusive game, Age of Empires 4. Chirp, 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 chirp.
A chirp. I don't want Hanson to have it.
Are you serious?
Ooh,
Why would you
it's
do that
getting
to me?
interesting.
Why would you? I've been waiting for so long, Leo.
Chad, who's cooler?
No, you can't say who's cooler. That's not how baby birds get their food. Otherwise, they'd give it to the cool bird who makes good jokes
That's
about
probably
eating.
how it works.
That's natural selection, dude. Sorry.
The coolest get to procreate. That's biology 101. I'm very excited about Age of Empires 4. They released a trailer recently, which is interesting to dorks, showing off like the naval combat. And it's fun because, I don't know about fun, but the fan base, since this game's gameplay was revealed, has been up in arms about the way it looks, saying it looks too kiddie, it's not realistic enough, I don't know about this art direction in general. And like the community has lost its mind over this naval combat trailer because like the water physics and just the waves in general, people are comparing to the recent remaster of Age of Empires 3, the game from 2005, and the water in the remaster looks like 10 times better than Age of Empires 4. And it's so fascinating. I'm trying to think of like any other example where a remaster of a previous game looks better than the new one coming out. Like, it hasn't really happened too much for the industry, but outside of that skepticism from the community, make this thing look like Age of Empires Online for all I care. I'm very excited to jump in. I'm not a shallow person. I will play this game no matter what it looks like. And that's why I would like to play Age of Empires 4.
Can I ask why I felt like this game is perpetually about to come out for the past 5 years straight?
Yeah, because they announced it, I think, in 2017, and they kept on announcing it's about to come out for 5 years straight now.
I see.
Also,
That's
you're friends with Ben Hansen, who finds ways to bring it up all the time.
All the
Right.
time, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a point for Leo getting it so that it's erased from Hansen's mind, and then we'll never have to hear it again.
And I promise I won't even play it.
Aaron T says, wait, Leo was the one who interviewed CBS's John Dickerson about his love for Age of Empires 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so. Although Neil Smith is voting in the past, and Chris Fader and Camp Blink. All right,
Hansen,
I'm eating it. I'm eating it.
Can you
I'm
name
taking it.
10 historic armies from Age of Empires 4?
That are going to be in Age of Empires 4?
Yeah.
I don't think they've announced.
Baby.
Baby. Let's see. I don't know if they've. I don't think they've announced 10. So it's New Delhi, or I guess Delhi. I forget. Delhi, India. I'm going with India as one. They had the Mongols in there. They had the Britons. The Japanese
if you're gonna,
are in there.
If you're gonna do this to Hansen, Jeff, you name 10 Super Metroids.
Hey, I'm just trying to
Look,
I'm
I
giving
lost
him
track.
an opportunity.
Look, this is me. Chat says it's me. We're moving on. We're
He
moving
opened
on.
with Delhi, for Christ's sake.
That's
so.
what's going to sound like Delhi.
No, I'm saying that's a deep cut, Hansen.
All right, thank you.
I'm on your side for this one.
We're really capturing the energy of a bunch of chirping baby birds fighting each other for food. And I
Yeah.
think that's a big success of this segment.
That's what the iTunes review said. 1 star. It sounds like a bunch of hungry baby birds. All right, October 28th. Apparently, this is a game that's coming out still. Riders Republic from Ubisoft. Oh,
Chirp, bruh.
I think you actually might be able to race baby birds in this game because they've packed so much into this absurd extreme sports thing. But you're excited about this one, Leo.
I am. Steep, I feel like, is the closest comparison.
Yeah.
Which was all set on a mountain, but a bunch of different sports and hang gliding and stuff.
Steep.
But I really like that blend of not taking itself too seriously, not being too simmy. The idea being, here's all these different extreme sports activities you can do to have fun. The idea of having all those, like BMXing and paragliding and all these different things in one package makes it like a very appealing buy for me.
There we go. Riders Republic. Take it. It's yours. October 29th, Switch exclusive Mario Party Superstars.
Sure.
Wow. Take it, Leo. November 9th, Forza Horizon 5. Drip. I'm very excited for Forza Horizon 5. I think that game is going to be a delight. I'm very much looking forward to that one. November 12th, we have Shin Megami Tensei 5. For the record, we didn't talk about it before on the podcast, and we got several angry messages about what's wrong with you guys. Why aren't you excited?
Oh, then
about it?
chirp.
Okay, great.
Chirp.
Take
That
it, Leo.
sounds so- I love that.
Take it, Leo. It does seem good. Please be cool, Shin Megami fans. Be cool. November 19th, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl. Jeep. I know. Oh, interesting, Kyle. Silence.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the new Pokemon experiences. Not really interested in looking back myself.
Okay, there we go.
Like Arceus, I would chirp for if we had if that was, you know what I mean, or like the next core entry, I would chirp for. But I'm good on replaying Diamond and Pearl.
All right. Well, I'm good on it, meaning I would like to do it. So I'm looking forward to that one. I'll take it. Thank you very much. November 23rd, we have Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, the 14 expansion that's going to kind of wrap up this part of the story. Seems good, but we are not big 14 fans.
For everyone.
Yep, seems great for the world. December 3rd, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp.
Cheap.
Just give it to Suriel.
Yeah, Jeff, you better be like relaying that to Suriel, or else you're just a monstrous bird. I was
gonna torture him with it.
Oh, like in a nice way?
Yeah.
By describing it,
nice
you would say that sounds so
Okay,
cool.
as long as you're going to torture him with it, you can have it. December 7th.
But real quick, by the way, I Suriel can have that one. That's his. He deserves it. He's worked so hard, and he deserves it. But I do want to play that game. I went to try to see if I could download it on my 3DS, if like the Game Boy Advance versions were available, and they were not, sadly. But I don't know. Suriel has convinced me, whether he was trying or not, that I should give those games a shot, even though I'm not a big strategy guy.
Yeah, there we go.
His reaction to it was like the most joyous thing I've ever seen on a live stream. That was like a true like live stream reacts kind of video that you should actually watch, you know?
Compared to
like
our other ones?
He lost his mind. He was so excited.
Yeah, he was spinning around like a top. It was out of control. December 7th, a day that will live in infamy because of the release of this game, Dying Light 2, Stay Human. As we all recall, they did a lot of testing and they found out that if they call it Stay Human, it's going to sell more. So, Dying Light 2. Oh, Jeffem.
Cheap.
Oh, interesting. What's the case here?
Let me tell you guys a little story. I played through the original Dying Light with Shay while he was reviewing it at Game Informer, and I think I liked it more than he did.
Wow,
that's
quite
a
my
tale.
Whole story. I also like Dead Island. I'm for some reason I'm still not tired of zombie games, even though I feel like I have no excuse for not being tired of them.
Right.
But this one, I like the parkour of the series. I like, all of the different loot and those kind of upgrade mechanics. I'm still not sure if their like branching narrative choice decision things is going to work out, but I'm in the mood for getting lost in a big open world game with scary zombies.
Well, there you go.
I love precise parkour like that in the first one, skill based. Ever since Brink, everyone's been pushing towards hold the smart button to go over all your obstacles, Assassin's Creed and everything. But I want it to be a precise thing that feels like I'm skillfully climbing, rather than just pushing up like Uncharted or whatever.
Yeah,
I do too.
And I want it more.
Okay, chat, you need to make the call. Should Leo get it? Or should Jeff?
How many games does Leo have at this point?
Oh, that's an interesting point. Yeah.
Does Leo have all the games at this point? Leave me something.
I mean, he's
Leo.
probably still going to be playing Shin Megami Tensei 5. Can't Blink brings up that Jeffem...
Stay it off the ground.
Jeffem is hungry. Jeffem, I think you got to take it with that.
Please.
Give him the worm. Jeffem takes it. Congratulations on Dying Light 2. Stay bird. Also in December, they don't have an exact release date for it, but Neon White is coming out. The new game from the creator of Donut County. If you recall this game, it's like set in heaven and it's all about speed running and you have cards. They showed it off at the Annapurna showcase last week. But if you recall this one, it's like, okay, you got to get from here to here and you have cards. You can use this card to like fire an extra shot or to be a double jump and you're just shuffling through this deck of cards and it's all about making the optimal speed run. It looks very cool.
It does, yeah.
Switch and PC.
Are you chirping?
I'm not going to chirp, but...
Chirp.
Oh, Leo, my God. All right. This bird's going to freaking explode. Then there are games that are in 2021, but they don't have an exact release date yet. So grain of salt, these could all slip. We have Axiom Verge 2, which they said is coming out quarter 3.
Chirping also. And they gave Metroid to Kyle before. Come on, I need one Metroid game.
Yeah, Jeffem, you get it.
Here's my argument, which actually probably will give it to Jeffem. I actually never played the first one, and I always meant to. So this is like my chance to like get to try Axiom Verge without having to go
Actually,
back.
your chance to play Axiom Verge is to just pick up any device because it's on all of them at this point.
I bought it on my Switch. It was on sale, but I haven't played it. It's hard to play old games.
So you own it, but you still haven't
All right,
played
yeah,
it.
that's a Jeff joint. You got to even out the Metroid love.
All right,
take
that's
it,
fine.
Jeff.
I'll take
Axiom
Metroid. You can
Verge
have
too.
Axiom Verge.
We have coming out in early access this year, Darkest Dungeon 2 on PC.
Yeah, sure.
All right, take it. We have Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier, the Battle Royale on iOS and Android, which they were testing back in June. I thought they were going to shadow drop it during E3, but drip, drip, drip. He's too full. He can't eat anymore. I will take that. I will be the First Soldier. I will play that for an hour. Then we have the biggie. No one knows what's going on here, but Halo Infinite is still coming out 2021, they say.
Point of order. This is the last
this
list.
Crap
It's,
again.
It's right there. We've had this argument.
This is why we shouldn't have established the precedent with the Deathloop one.
I know.
You guys, we agreed on it before. I already won this case.
I will say, they had their technical preview over the weekend. A lot of love for it. Like multiple people in the community here, like Dunder and Noah D. Noah D said he spent over 30 hours playing the Halo Infinite tech preview and he enjoyed the heck out of it.
Which is why, see, Kyle's just going to write something. He's going to write it down on a piece of paper.
I looked through this drawer and I also found that I wrote my name in Halo Infinite. So I think.
Well, let's go back to the original
right?
tape, Kyle, and see who gave up like a big baby and didn't want it anymore. And he said, you know what, Jeffem, you take it because you obviously care about it more, and I agree to forget about the game. See, you don't remember because you already forgot about
weird.
Halo.
I just found this tattoo I got last year. Oh, it says Halo for me.
Whoa, wow.
You know what that means?
Oh, that's just for Halo 4 though, Leo. I'm sorry.
Halo for me, doctor.
I would also like to point out that since the beginning of this, I have said that Halo Infinite is going to get a Battle Royale mode. That has always been one of my predictions.
Right.
And I saw a recent news story saying that somewhere deep inside, the betas, data mining, whatever hackers do, they found a reference to Battle Royale. So they're obviously making that mode just for me.
One line from the announcer, a Battle Royale does not equate. So I'm still skeptical about that. But all right. Well, Halo Infinite. Did you watch any of the preview stuff over the weekend, Jeffem?
Oh, absolutely. And it looks super cool.
You idiot. It's interesting, though, Kyle, I don't know if you saw this, but in multiplayer, no more red versus blue. It's just that the opposing team has like kind of a vague outline that's either red or blue, just so they can still have cosmetics. So they don't want to like interfere with that since it's going to be a free-to-play Halo game. So it's weird that like cosmetics now supersedes red versus blue. But outside of that, it seems like people are really into it, which is cool to hear. Some optimism for Halo
I'm super
here.
excited to play it, and I'm the only one.
All right, Jeff, you can take Halo Infinite because of your dirty, weird rules.
These were the established rules.
I don't know about that. Jet: The Far Shore coming out on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. This is a Super Brothers game.
I didn't want to do it, but that was the other one. I'm sorry, my entire list from last year.
All right, Jeffem takes Jet: The Far Shore. We have Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Can we actually, can we follow up Jet: The Far Shore immediately with Far Changing Tides?
Yeah.
Just to be super confused.
Is that coming out 2021?
Supposedly. It's another, up in the air kind of one. But that's a chirp for me. I really liked the first one. Excited for the second one.
Okay. You got that one, Leo, and is the official stenographer?
Far loan sales too?
Yes. Far Changing Tides. Not to be confused with Jet: The Far Shore.
Yep. Jurassic World Evolution 2. Chirp. I will chirp. Actually, here's what I'll do.
Pterodactyl noise.
That's the sound of a T-Rex
evolving. The song?
No, that's a T-Rex evolving into a bird through the chirp process. So I'll go ahead and take that sim. It's going to be released on everything. They insist there's no evidence that this will happen, and time has not been on their side, but they insist that they are releasing Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga in the year 2021. But that game has a bit of a saga behind it. Chirp. I don't think it's coming out this year, but I'll chirp that. I'll play that thing. I'm very curious about it, and hopefully.
Well, you're locking it in forever now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It comes out this year.
Let's see. They also say this is coming out in 2021. Ubisoft's Roller Champions, the roller derby game that they announced years ago.
They did a playable beta, no less than 3 years ago, right?
Yes, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Was it during E3 that came out?
The beta?
The demo of it?
Maybe, yeah, something like that. That sounds right,
I think I actually played it for a video at GI.
Yeah. Does anybody want it? Okay.
Good.
We have Star Wars Hunters coming to the Switch. That's that bounty hunter, looks like some sort of battle arena style game. I think it's also coming to mobile. That'll be fun, huh, guys? And then we have on PC, they're releasing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, which is a game that they also announced it's supposed to be released in 2019. And it's been delayed, and they're adding more content, console exclusive content. I have my fingers crossed for. Chirp! I'll chirp for that. Lock that sucker in for whenever it comes out. I love that original game.
You're on a kill streak right now, my man.
Thank you. Mop up chirping. Then we have Weird West on PC. This is the game from the former head of Arcane, Ralph Colantonio. They say it's like an immersive sim, but also just a weird version of the West. It kind of looks isometric. It looks funky and cool. And they say 2021.
Weird though?
It's pretty downright weird, yeah.
I'm into it.
Okay, take it, Leo.
Chirpy.
And that's it for 2021. Hopefully you listening along have been chirping in your car or just listening with headphones on, but just chirping loudly while walking down the street. Everybody give a chirp for the good games coming out this year, huh? Chirp, 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 chirp.
Do we want to run through them all? I have them listed.
Yeah, do you have them by person instead of chronologically?
Sure don't.
Okay. I think it's fun to see.
I can try and do that real fast.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Here's all the Leo games. We've got Road 96, 12 Minutes, New World, Lake, WarioWare Get It Together, Death Stranding Director's Cut, Lost Judgment, Battlefield 2042, Far Cry 6, Riders Republic, Mario Party Superstars, Neon White, Darkest Dungeon 2, and Weird West. For Kyle, in second place, we have Ghost of Tsushima's Director's Cut, Psychonauts 2, F.I.S.T, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, Sable, Metroid Dread, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Solar Ash.
Woot.
And is that it?
Far Changing Tide.
Far Changing Tide, of course. And then we have Hansen, who came away with Artful Escape, Tales of Arise, a little game called Age of Empires 4, a little game called Forza Horizon 5, the Pokemon remasters, a little game called Final Fantasy First Soldier. Congrats again on that one.
Thanks, ma'am.
Jurassic World Evolution 2, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
And I'll have you note Super Monkey Ball Banana. Oh wait, no, I didn't win that one. Damn it. No, that's right. All right, I'm happy. I can hold my head up that year.
That's pretty good. Jeffem, of course, got Deathloop, famously, Kitaria Fables, Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, Back 4 Blood, Dying Light 2 Stay Human, Axiom Verge 2, Halo Infinite, and Jet the Far Shore. And Diablo 2 Resurrected goes to jail.
Wow. All right. And yeah, for the record, no one's allowed to think or play any of the games that didn't win. So we will not be talking about them on this podcast. It's going to be unfortunate, but you know, content's content. You got to stick with the rules or else everything means nothing, right?
Hansen?
Yeah.
Quick point of order.
Oh God, here we go again.
There was another game that you skipped over.
Oh, yes. What is this farming simulator?
It is a little game called Blood Bowl 3.
Okay.
Which, you know, and that's the reason I bring it up, Hansen, because back at GI, everyone poo-pooed Blood Bowl 2. I think Mike Fighter once wanted to put it on a top 50 list or something like that. And everyone was so disgusted that he would even bring it up.
This is the orc football game, for those who don't know.
It's an orc football game. It's based on a tabletop game, and it's actually, from a strategy standpoint, it's a really interesting strategy game because you're kind of simulating football, but you have a roster of characters which, you know, like follows through the entire season, but there's like permadeath for them because of, you know, orcs die when they're playing football.
They must.
And it's an actually really cool strategy game that I would want to play the physical version, but I want to play the computer version, and I'm not going to stop talking. I know you want to keep on going, Hanson, but we're going to talk about Blood Bowl 3 for the next 2.5 hours. So buckle in.
Okay, take it. Which that does remind me, though, Jeffem, I do not mean to cut you off, but I've been meaning to ask, do you know how this whole thing operates and how we're able to record this podcast?
Blood Bowl 3.
That's right, which can be found at patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's. Thanks to everybody who supports us over there. There's a bunch of benefits to unlock, including if you want a little plug for your passion project or small business on this very podcast. We have some new promotions that'll be rolling in next week. So just another thank you to the Hello Hyrule podcast. Crypto Zookeeper went over there, jumped on, and said, I will support MinnMax. I'll help keep this indie trainer rolling, and I'll point people towards the Hello Hyrule podcast, which is the premier Legend of Zelda travelogue podcast. In each hour-long episode, we take a deep dive into a new location in the game, starting with Skyward Sword, and discuss the story, characters, and all the tiny details that make up these worlds we've grown up loving so much. So check out the Hello Hyrule podcast. Send a message to those folks. You can find them on Twitter or leave a review on Apple Podcasts. I'm sure they'd appreciate the support, and support them because they've done a great job of supporting us. So thank you so much to Crypto Zookeeper. Also, thanks to our dear friends at I'm 8-Bit. They want everybody to know that the Tell Me Why vinyl soundtrack is available in the I'm 8-Bit wonderful online store. It is a quilt-themed cover art with tactile embossing. The music's by Ryan Lott, the album art is by Theo Randall, and it does include the digital download. So many of these great albums on I'm 8-Bit store, it's like, yeah, you might not have a record player. You should, they're cool. I'm happy I got one a while ago. But even if you don't, it's just a great thing to put up as like a little poster in your room, up on a countertop, anything funky like that, and then you get the digital download for it. So thanks to our friends at I Am 8-Bit, go support them. You can use the promo code CATFISH, all one word, CATFISH, for 10% off everything under $100 in their wonderful online store. And because they are so generous, each and every week they ship out a prize to a member of the MinnMax community just for supporting us even at that $2 tier and submitting a great question. Whichever question makes the show better, we will choose your favorite question, and that person will get a prize this week. It is the Nintendo Switch physical edition of Kentucky Route Zero. The TV edition of Kentucky Route Zero, which is all 5 chapters in there. One of Suriel's favorite games of all time. I believe it's his number 2 favorite game of all time. So you can get the Nintendo Switch physical edition by just submitting a great question. And we're going to choose who wins that here and now in this very episode. But Kyle?
Just before we move on, can we swap Kyle out?
Are you kind of tired of him?
I just feel like I need a fresh perspective, It's like, with Kyle, it's kind of like, we get it,
Right. I was just about to say
you don't
that.
like procedural generation. You like Solar Ash. We get it.
Yeah, Kyle, do you want to use your little baby bird wings and give us one clap out of here? Haley McLean!
Hello!
Welcome to the MinnMax Show!
Much better.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's kind of like, a half Game Query reunion, your old podcast with Leo?
It's 50%, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff, were you ever a guest on that podcast?
I was not, and I'm still offended I was never asked.
It was pretty rude, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we didn't think we'd get y'all. You were too good for us, we assumed.
Flattery.
There is a fan base for that podcast that is really heartwarming. Maybe it's just like there's so much overlap with our community, but like I was amazed by the amount of Haley and Game Query love coming in. I'm like, oh, it's about time. But like, do you all miss that podcast?
Oh my gosh, every day. I literally I'll text Blake every so often, just being like, what's up? We should do Game Query today. He's like, no, we can't today. Sorry. I'm like, okay, later then. Like I miss it every day. Yeah, because how many episodes did you all do? Oh my god, I don't know. Leo, you were dead, but then you came on like 4 more times after that. So what were we at, like 70?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's so fun. But yeah, just for a full history, you two were Game Informer interns, coincidentally best friends that happen to start at the same time, soon to become best friends. It's weird that the personalities just work that way. So it's very nice to have a little reunion here. And you seem like the best person to answer a bunch of questions from the community, Haley.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so we have some good ones here. And I need you to remember your number one favorite. And then we're going to ship that person out an amazing prize. Are y'all ready? Okay, here we go. Zach
good.
Killian writes in, says, hello, MinnMax. I'm excited for the Dead Space remake, but it got me thinking, why not just make a new game in the series? With all these remakes, why don't developers create a new entry in a series instead of just a remake?
Would we, what's the read on this room here? Would we have been more excited for a new Dead Space than a remastered Dead Space 1?
Remastered or remake?
Remade. Sorry, remade.
I don't think I would. I think what's exciting about the idea of starting Dead Space over is you just lose so much of that lore baggage. And, you know, we just wrapped up the deepest dive on Dead Space. So I played through the first one for the first time and absolutely loved it. I think it's aged incredibly well. Better than any other game from 2008, I would argue. But at the same time, I would be intimidated if it's like Dead Space : Awakening, you know, Revelations or something. Like, I would feel a little bit off-put about jumping in, whereas this is why they do it, right? Is just so they have the cleanest entry point for as many people as possible.
Yeah, I think the answer to the question is that it's a lot, I mean, not easy, quote unquote, but they have the blueprint for a game that they know a ton of people already love.
Yes.
And that is good, that worked out. And to Leo's question, I think the thing that makes me hesitate, I want to say that I want a new one, but what makes me hesitate is kind of the way that the series changed over the years, and they wanted to make it more action focused, and they wanted to add microtransactions. I don't know that they would make another 2008 style Dead Space, which is kind of what I want from the series.
Just a good, clean, pure experience. But, you know, we talk about it a lot in the deepest dive, but honestly, playing through that game, I remember seeing some people on YouTube like, why would you do a remake? Just give us a remaster. And I was like, remake's more fun, right? Playing through that game again, I was like, honestly, I think a remaster would do it. Like, that game is so solid through and through. You could have a big show just for remastering that first game. But if, you know, the rumors are to be believed and they were inspired by like Resident Evil 2 remake, I think that's kind of a fun framework for them kind of reworking some things, probably adding a little bit of voice acting for Isaac in that first game and like fixing up some of the things that are jarring, which at first I thought from a distance that it was going to be cool having a silent protagonist, but going through that game again, it's like, It's weird the amount of emotion that they try to squeeze out of that character without him talking, but there's times where he's just like clawing at his own space helmet, like, oh, boo, hoo, hoo, hoo. It's like, you can't have the emotional drive of the game be from this strangely silent protagonist.
I remember that bothering me when it came out.
Yeah.
I personally would be more excited for a new game in the franchise, but them doing it a remake like this, I guess the example of Resident Evil 2 remake. Resident Evil 2 is something I never really cared about or felt like was for me. And Resident Evil 2 remake, being excited by everyone saying it's basically a new game.
Yeah.
We've added so much that it is a new thing. And if Dead Space were to go that route, then it's kind of best of both worlds for them, right? Because they get like kind of like the nostalgia play and the play for new players and the play for like people who weren't sure about diving back in, but there's enough new things to be enticing.
Yeah, and hopefully avoids all those problems that the future installments, like I don't think a remake would be more action focused. It would probably stick pretty close to the tone of the original.
Yeah, I think so. Crater writes in and says, hello, cohorts and special guest, Haley. I have a 3-part query for our special guest, if I may. Part 1, could you please shamelessly plug your pet portraits business? Our portrait of Yoshi, the goodest boy, is an absolute family favorite, prominently displayed in our living room. Your art is fantastic and needs to be publicly acknowledged as such.
Oh, thank you, Crater. That's so nice.
So what is this?
I did. So when I first started my undergrad, I started doing, like, I painted my aunt's dog for fun, and then she really liked it. And then someone asked me to paint their dog. And then I did that up until, like, I just recently closed my orders for the first time in like 8 years, like the other day, because I'm just too busy right now. But it's been the perfect thing to do, like, with school, because it's like you study all day, but then it feels like you're doing something different. It's such a podcast thing to do too.
Yeah.
You just put on a podcast, like a video one, so you can glance at it every few seconds. It's been like the perfect thing.
Oh, that's awesome. So if
The
people,
portrait you did of my cats is front and center in our living room as well. It's so beautiful.
I loved painting your cats. They're they're cuddling together. It was so cute.
so if people are desperate for a pet portrait, too bad. There's just no time for you anymore.
Too bad. Maybe check in around Christmas time. I usually take some around Christmas time.
Okay, there we go. Part 2. Could you please shamelessly plug your podcast, Game and Makeup? The concept is solid gold, and the execution with the wonderful chemistry between you and Mike makes for an incredible piece of entertainment. The Dark Souls episode is a personal favorite of a show that is fantastic and needs to be publicly acknowledged as such.
Oh my god, I'm getting so many opportunities to shamelessly plug. This is great. So Game and Makeup is a podcast I do with my boyfriend. So we both really like video games, and we'd oftentimes just squabble for like hours on end, and we realized that's essentially just a podcast format. Like we might as well record it. So the premise of it is we have really different taste in games. So I'll make him play a game and he'll make me play a game, and we'll swap. So he's had really easy ones. I made him play Twilight Princess and like Sunshine. And that, you know, that's nothing. And he's had me play Dark Souls and Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4. So I'm getting kind of the short end of the stick. But it's been fun because otherwise they're games I'd never touch. Like I would never have played Dark Souls unless I had a reason to. And it's been really fun. So we just sit down for a couple hours and just like fight about the games, essentially, whether they're good or not.
Do you have to play through the whole game? I'm trying to remember. I listened to the Sunshine episode. I'm trying to remember if he like finished that game, which that's a long journey.
He didn't even finish Sunshine that much. Like he got like decently far. And
Okay.
I beat Dark Souls and I beat Resident Evil 4 because I feel like I can't talk about it until I beat it.
Right.
Otherwise it's disingenuous a little bit. So
You're taking it more seriously.
I'm taking it really serious.
Yeah, you're carrying him on this
not
podcast. Game and Makeup is the name of that podcast.
Yes. Yeah.
And is it one word or two for makeup?
It's 2 words, but on Twitter it's just all one word in a row. Game and Makeup.
Okay, gotcha. Part 3. Are you a lawyer yet?
This is like an inside joke with game query people, but Blake started it, so I'm not a lawyer yet. I graduated law school, but I have to pass the bar, so it's next June I'll be a lawyer.
And step 1 to being a lawyer is to put the bar in quotes. How does that work?
Well, I'm in Canada, and I live in a province where we actually got rid of the bar.
Oh.
So it's like a capstone program. It's this whole new thing they're trying out on us, which is great. You know, that's great for me. I love being a guinea pig for my career, whatever. But it's been good so far. So it's kind of like a bar, but it's a little different. So I put quotation marks because I'm not quite taking the bar.
Gotcha. Crater says, thanks for all the memories. I really enjoyed being able to sing that weird cover song for you guys. Never stop sniping.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, Crater.
Right, there you go. Mike Lynch says, Haley, welcome to MinnMax. Since Canada is about to open its borders back up to the United States travelers, what would you say is the #1 spot in Nova Scotia where you live?
Oh man, well we take COVID super serious here. We're like a little paradise COVID wise this whole time. So we've had really low cases. We had one little influx a little while ago, but they went right back down because we all are so like judgy of each other.
Smart.
Like so the cases go down as soon as they spike even a little bit. But you know, Halifax is great. That's where I am. It's like the biggest city, you know, east of Montreal. Everything else is really small. So I would say Halifax. There's tons of stuff to do here. It's like all waterfront based. It's really fun.
What do you think is like #1 attraction? Like if I was coming to visit, and I might next week, like where would you bring me, do you think?
Just the waterfront. There's just like a string of bars all along the waterfront that play like old-timey maritime music. So it's like kind of culture shocky. It's like you're not really used to going in and just listening to like fiddles and stuff while you drink, and that's really fun. So probably that.
All right, that sounds great.
Yeah.
This is probably an oversimplification, but I know we all think like, oh, all Canadians are nice. And I feel like Nova Scotia, it's like, I cannot imagine not being nice if you lived in Nova Scotia. Am I wrong? Is everyone just very pleasant up there?
People are super pleasant. They'll be like a random jerk, but it's like that stereotype kind of rings true. We're usually pretty nice, which is a very nice stereotype to have about a group of people.
Yeah, I mean, we got that Minnesota nice thing, and it's like I think we're doing all right. But as somebody who's lived in Minneapolis and Nova Scotia, or like Minneapolis and Halifax for a bit, how do they compare? Do you think?
Oh, Minnesota has huge Canada energy. Like it was very like when I moved to Minnesota for a little while, people are very similar in the two areas. Like I guess that's just because you guys are so close to our border. We rub off on you a little bit. Maybe that's why. But
yeah, I think it's just
same energy, same vibe, I would say.
Oh, good. All right, we'll be right at home.
Yeah.
Chris Logan says, "Hey, Ben and the Horts. Baba Is You is a game I adore and would recommend to any fan of puzzle games. But according to my Switch, I only played for a few hours before bouncing off. Which brings me to my question: what is a game you appreciate more than you enjoy actually playing?" This is
90% of games.
I think I'm kind of in that camp. Yeah, appreciate.
Yeah. I would say just most horror games, because I can appreciate they're good games and they're made really well, but I'm just too much of a chicken to like stick it out and play that much of them. I just give up. But I know they're good. I just hate them while I play them.
Yeah,
Right.
I think like, I don't know, I guess the From Software stuff, I appreciate those and I appreciate the impact they've had on the industry, and I appreciate the fans, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not actually going to keep playing those.
Deus Ex games for me. It's like I should like these. All these mechanics are really interesting, and I wish more games did that kind of stuff. I love the hacking and the social elements and stuff, but never really sunk my teeth into it.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish we were all smarter. I could really sink our teeth into more stuff. That's the distinction. Holden Hints. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say the Division series is another one. Like, I don't really like to play it that much, but I can appreciate that, like, it's good, kind of. Like, and it's, like, the way you sneak around and, like, the cover-based system's really good, but, like, most other parts of that game I don't really like that much.
Yeah. All right. That's good.
Yeah.
Holden Hint says, after playing The Wild at Heart, I realized I love the Pikmin mechanic of having little workers do tasks for you. I know RTS games have been doing that for years, but on that scale, it's just such a delight. With Tinykin and Kenna Bridge of Spirits scheduled to release this year, it seems this genre of games is making a serious comeback. What's a one-off mechanic you want to see return into the gaming landscape? One-off mechanic.
One-off mechanic.
I would say, and it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but GTA 5's just switching between protagonists seems like something that no one else has ever really done. And I feel like it could be really interesting if their stories were more interwoven. Like if you just had a squad of characters, but they were in different places doing different things, and that kind of overlapped between the characters. Like that could be a really cool idea.
But don't you think Watch Dogs Legion is kind of the extension of that? Does that count, Leo?
Maybe.
A little
bit.
But I guess I would also like to see it where it was bespoke characters too.
Yeah.
Like actually characters with personalities, and it wasn't just filling in as an avatar for something.
Not just dude with backpack number 700.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Chris H says, "Hey, cohort. Hello. I had a bunch of fun this weekend in the Halo Infinite beta testing. In honor of the beta, what is the most exciting / best experience you've had playing a game pre-launch?" Best pre-launch experience.
I remember playing the Crackdown demo over and over because it was a timed demo with super fast leveling. So I would just do runs where I'd try to max out my strength and max out my agility and try to max out as many things as possible in one run.
Yeah.
And you had that whole first island to run around.
That's good. Fun. Yeah. I mean,
also the Skate 2 demo pre-release, because I played Skate and I was so excited for Skate 2. And the Skate 2 demo, you could glitch out. It was also timed, but we're locked in a small park, but you could glitch out and go on the rest of the map, except some of the streets weren't there. So you could like explore what the rest of the map was going to be.
Oh, that's fun.
That's so cool.
Weird. That was awesome.
When I was at E3 2017, I got to play Odyssey early, and that was super exciting. But what made me like really excited was I was playing I forget what the desert level's called, but like the girl who was helping me through it, you know, she was like so pretty, and like I was already intimidated by her. She's like 6'3", like perfect hair, and she's like, "Come play Odyssey with me." I was like, okay, but it was the Jaxi taxi part, and it's like notoriously hard. You have to do like little skid turns, and I somehow did it perfect. And she's like, "You're the best at this. Congrats!" I was like, "Oh my god, thanks!" Like, and I was inside. I was like, "Oh, I did it!" I was so excited.
Attractive person thinks I'm very good at something.
Yeah, and then we played Rabbids afterwards, and I was super bad at that, so it kind of ruined it. But oh well.
The Nintendo rep actually spat in your face, which I thought was really rude.
Yeah, she told me to leave.
Who were you covering E3 for when you went?
At Twinfinite.
Oh, sweet. How was that?
A website I worked for a while.
Yeah. How was that E3 visit for you overall?
Oh, it was so fun. I actually saw you. I saw you, Ben. I remember that day, and I think I saw Elise too.
Okay.
But it was so fun because I really only had like 5-ish appointments a day. So otherwise, I kind of just roamed around and like tried to find really small booths where they were like, they're always like the cutest and the nicest. They really want journalists to come in, but they can't get enough. So you kind of poke your head and you're like, can I sit in here? They're like, oh my God, come in. And they're so excited to show you. That's my favorite bit.
Yeah. Just to have somebody excited to see you. It's a nice
to see
feeling,
you
yeah.
instead of like Bethesda telling you they don't have enough time, go away.
Right. List your 5 favorite characters from Skyrim, then you can get in. Yeah. Did you get to like do any pre-release stuff when you were an intern at Game Informer? Did you get to do any previews or anything that were kind of fun?
I remember Yoka Mari Night Alone was one we got to see early. That like little horror game that was on PSP and something else. That was fun. I think that was the only thing though.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think was like peak excitement during your internship at Game Informer? I probably asked you this when you were on the podcast back in the day when you were leaving or something. But was there like one moment or something that stands out to you?
I remember I wrote like a listicle about the Witcher monsters, and like the Witcher Twitter was like, this is a good thing. This is great. And I was like, oh, but because I love The Witcher. It's like one of my favorite franchises. I was like, The Witcher noticed me. Like that was super exciting.
That's awesome. The equivalent of a 6-foot attractive Nintendo rep. Yeah.
Same thing. Same energy.
Exact same. Yeah. Okay. Back to Chris's question. I'm trying to think like, best pre-release thing. I mean, it has to be the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo. I would imagine, just for the amount that I played that. Like I enjoy Zone of the Enders and stuff, but I probably played the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo more than Zone of the Enders, just exploring everything. Just Leo, did you ever play the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo? Or Metal Gear Solid 2?
I played a ton of Ground Zeroes ahead of Phantom Pain though.
Okay.
I was playing that over and over and watching the kind of funny videos because for some reason they got first gameplay of it. They had 3 hours of gameplay of Phantom Pain up before anybody else.
Oh wow.
And I watched it, and to be honest, I got extremely frustrated because it was 80% Greg trying to climb up a wall that you couldn't climb and would just run along the sheer wall in the desert. And like not be able to see anything because there was glare on the screen or whatever. It was not good first gameplay to come out.
You're just screaming at your screen.
Yeah. I would treat this game with so much more respect.
Listen to me, Kojima. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of a similar idea, though, of just like learning the systems. And Ground Zeroes had enough in there where it's like, okay, we're learning the extent of what they've added here, how much crazy details in this packed environment. I mean, it's the obvious example, but yeah, it is very Metal Gear Solid 2, just for replayability, figuring out like how much attention they put into tiny details like that. It's crazy.
And it felt like I was practicing for it. You know?
Right. Yeah, that'd be a fun one to stream at some point for MinnMax Plays. Go back to Ground Zeroes.
Yeah.
Grizzled Gaming jumps in and says, hello, Benny Hansen and the Hansenites. Hello. My wife and I were binge watching Seinfeld on Hulu before it left. That show has so many iconic moments. I'm curious what everyone's favorite bit, gag, joke, line, or episode is from a show with so many to choose from. My wife and I used "these pretzels are making me thirsty" as code when our kids were little and generally being annoying. That's very good. I hope your kid someday sees that episode and is like, wait a minute, why do I have so many negative emotions connected to this? Yeah, Jeff, you're a Seinfeld guy, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I guess the lame answer is the contest episode and just how fast Kramer defaults out of that.
Slams it onto the counter. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But pretty much anything with Kramer holds up amazingly. Like I don't think when the show was on the air I appreciated the physical comedy of what he contorted his body to do.
Yeah, boy, do I have a YouTube video for you, Jeff.
The character Kramer.
That's right. Honestly, I was thinking about Kramer this weekend. I think about Kramer most days, but I was thinking about this weekend.
Thinking about Kramer.
I really was, because we have like a water bubbler thing, like at our lake place now, and I like put a new water bubbler on there, and I was thinking there's this scene where Kramer is just replacing the water. What do you call those things? Bubbler? That's what they call them in Wisconsin or whatever. Water cooler?
You've established that's what they're called by now.
Okay. Bubbler, like just the jug?
Yeah, but I don't think they're called that in places other than Wisconsin and apparently Nova Scotia.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I don't think the point is that it bubbles the water, though.
No,
the
but
bubbles
they do
just
bubble.
come up because
the point is there's an amazing bit of physical comedy of Kramer trying to put a new one on, and I was just thinking about like I just could not imagine being in the crowd that day, seeing the sitcom actors like getting drenched trying to like act cool while still putting the new thing on. Hang on. Hang on, now I'm second guessing myself. Is it a what? Maybe I'm thinking of, it's the washing machine scene where he's putting concrete in the washing machine. Is that what I'm thinking of? And it's not a water
There's a
bubbler
guy
at
who
all?
says you can't have any of the soup.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah. And
That's
soup
what it
is
was.
liquidy. Yes.
I saw an outtake not too long ago that had me crying, and it was Kramer with a bag of golf clubs, and he was like trying to close a door, but he was getting the bag of golf clubs, and they must have filmed it like a dozen times.
Yeah.
And each time it just got funnier and funnier, but he's like falling down and golf clubs are landing on his head. It's very stupid, but just the way that he manages to do it. I don't know how. I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus was in the scene with it too, and I don't know how she managed to keep a straight face while he's killing himself with it.
You're right. Those Seinfeld bloopers, always funny. There was like some VHS tape that I had a bunch of Seinfeld bloopers, and it was the one of like Jerry Stiller and Elaine, and Jerry's just like, so you're saying you want a piece of me? And Elaine just cannot help. She's, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She just breaks down and cries laughing every single time. It's a wonderful show, Leo. I know you're too cool for it.
I am sure it is.
Okay.
I have a traumatic memory of hanging out with my friends, age 19, friends who always adored Seinfeld. And we were hanging out and they're like, let's watch Seinfeld. And then we all sat there and watched 2 episodes of Seinfeld, just dead silence.
The fact that it was 2 episodes, was there just no sound and the next one kept playing?
Yep. We all just accepted our fate.
Well, this is comedy. I still love Seinfeld. I need to go back and watch them all because it's all a little bit hazy. It was just whatever was on syndication. I watched a couple new as they were airing. It was very exciting. But I think the first Seinfeld that I saw was the one where they go to rent the car. And they rent the car, and then the car is not there. And he's like, but I made the reservation. It's like, sorry, sir, we don't have that car. And then he does that whole bit where he's like, the whole point is to hold the reservation. Anyone can just take them. And I remember that blowing my stupid baby mind. He's like, that's the funniest phrase, just anyone can take them.
Yeah, and it's like his comedy is, I think, to an extent underappreciated because it's not like gut busting. It's all just like
Not
intelligent
funny
observations.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Intelligent observations. Yes.
And the one that sticks with me for some stupid reason, I've probably thought of it 10,000 times in my life, is the idea that old people should be allowed to drive their age as a speed limit. And for some reason that just always sticks with me, because for some reason old people are driving slow, but they're running out of life, so they should be driving faster.
That's good.
For some reason that I think of that all the time.
Maybe the next episode of the MinnMax Show podcast can be, we run down every Seinfeld bit, and then we get to make bird chirp sounds for the bits that we want to remember for the rest of our lives.
And Leo just has to sit there in pain as we continue to talk about Seinfeld. for
Uncle
too long.
Leo, more like. Am I right, folks? Mm-hmm. Hey, do you get a lot of that, Leo? Do people bring up Uncle Leo too?
A couple times at my restaurant job.
Oh, okay.
That was
That seems
kind
fun.
of a nickname.
All right, well, here's a question for you, Leo. Stephen Woodson writes in and says, howdy, MinnMax, and welcome, Haley. Simple question. How do you define a comedic bit? Please ruin all comedy and define it for us. If you Google comedy bit, the top result is a think piece from 2014. We can do better than that. Also, never
Funny
stop
Google
sniping. Interesting. What do you think?
How do you define a bit, like as opposed to other types of comedy?
I don't know. What is your definition of a comedic bit?
A comedic bit, I guess, when you think of a funny angle for something and you decide to see where it takes you. You commit to it.
So every chunk of stand-up is a bit.
I think so.
But then on a podcast, can you have a bit? Does it need to be recurring? Recurring just cements the bit in more as a concept, but doesn't need to be?
A bit of a running gag.
Running gag, recurring bit. Okay.
You're getting kind
I
of
think
technical now.
A running gag is a bit. They're
Yeah.
each bits. You can say a bit we do is this, and it's a running gag, and I think that's still considered a bit.
Is a bit anything that is self-contained and silly? Is that the definition of a bit?
Is this a bit?
This is the worst bit I've ever heard in my life. Is this what Drill Bit Taylor was all about? 2-hour bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Kyle Silver writes, oh, sorry, did you have more?
As a student of comedy, I could go on all day. We should just move on.
Kyle Silva says, what is the most expensive thing you've ever broken? I once toppled a hanging chandelier with my foot. How the hell?
That's impressive.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of weird flips you were doing. The most expensive thing you've ever broken? Good question.
I broke a television.
No.
Or the
Big
Wiimote?
television with a PlayStation 3 controller.
What?
It's the fakest sounding story of all time. But
Is
I
it
was
rage induced?
in a way. I mean, yes.
You were playing Rage?
I was playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and I said, I'm done with this. Probably I was doing too good. Probably I was tired of winning. And I threw the controller at the ground, and the corner of the PS3 controller hit the ground so perfectly that it bounced up and smashed the TV, and it completely made it useless.
Oh my god.
Can you reenact the sound you made upon impact of the controller on the TV?
Probably. But I knew immediately, I was like, everyone's going to think I just threw it at the TV. But
Right.
I wouldn't do that.
You don't want to be that guy.
Did anyone believe you?
I don't know. They all acted like they did, but
Yeah, you can never know with people. Joshua Navalis writes in and says, all right, cohorts, let's settle this debate once and for all. What video game has the best water level music? Is it the dulcet tones of Super Mario 64's Dire Dire Docks, the otherworldly soundscapes of Donkey Kong Country's aquatic ambience, the unsettling horrors of Super Metroid's Meridia, or is it something else? Speak now or forever hold your breath, or peace. Well, I think we all know how Super Metroid's Meridia goes. Jeffem, since you're the expert, you want to take it away? Unbelievable. My first instinct was to go for Mario 64.
Mine's Sunshine.
Underwater?
Yeah, the eel one where you're cleaning his teeth. That has nice music in it. You're underwater for that, right?
Oh god, I forgot the eel comes back in Sunshine. Yeah, I guess. Let's see if we can pull it up. Sunshine underwater music. Like aquatic ambience, I understand that is like a level of zen for at least 40% of the US population, as far as I can tell. Probably just the world's population. So that's really tough to top. But here we go. Underwater exploration. This one?
Yeah.
It's always peaceful.
Little flute.
It is one thing I love about video games, just like the dumb things that would make no sense to somebody from the outside, but everybody knows exactly what you're talking about. The idea of like underwater music being a definable thing as a bit. It's like, oh yeah, of course underwater music is a concept, but if I told that to my dad, he would vomit, I believe. That's peaceful.
I don't think that is a bit, but I digress.
Oh, really? I'm going to say this one quick sentence and then digress. I'm a quick digressor. It's what I do. I digress. Dan writes in and says, hey, MinnMax, any word on more tabletop coverage? Good question.
Yeah, we'll do it at some point.
And it's that level of enthusiasm that you can't keep Jeffem away from that tabletop coverage.
Look, we want to do it, and we're going to get to it.
Technically can, because we have a studio now, Jeffem.
Yeah, there's this thing called a pandemic that's been going on. Hanson.
Okay, and you prefer not to be. You're on the safe side.
I can't get my kid vaccinated. He's too young for a vaccine.
Okay, so you don't want to invite like a lot of weirdos over to the basement to play some games.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe more tabletop streams online or something there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get back to doing recommendations and stuff.
There we go. Doreen.
Soonish.
Okay. Doreen. Oh, by the way, have you played the initiative yet?
I have not.
Okay. I recommend that game to you. I know that we promoted it on the podcast a while ago, so I guess take it with a grain of salt, but I would be doing this if we weren't doing that. It is a very cool little
I'm not going to believe you because...
I don't know. You feel weird as a listener. I just want to be clear. Yes, it was on the show as a promotion, but I do think that game is very fun.
Now I don't know if I can trust you, Hanson.
Oh, please. Mm-hmm. Doreen Clyer writes in and says, so what's up with people constantly thinking we're having, quote, dry spells of gaming for 2020/2021? Is it COVID, or are people actively missing out on how many great games are coming out almost every month? Maybe it's a generational thing where we've become so used to AAA, in my best Jim Sterling impression, dominating every month. I don't know that impression. I'm sorry, I blew it. What do y'all think? Dry spells in gaming. Yeah, I think this year has been really solid throughout. Maybe there's not so many AAA games like right now, but
there's AAA dry spells, but there's so many good like little nestled in hidden indies all the time, like 24/7.
yeah.
I think if you just thought of games, there's not really dry spells, but for the big guys, yeah, there's definitely months where you go like a few weeks and nothing drops.
Right.
Yeah, there definitely are drier spells though. Like I consider I like a full-bodied game release calendar that has stuff, from all different levels of budget and genre and stuff. And there's always good games coming out, but sometimes, if you only like certain games, you'll feel left out.
You kind of have to search for them too. Like I was watching you guys play that storybook game or whatever
Storyteller.
it was. Like that looks so fun. I've never heard of that before, and I like look up games on Twitter all day. So I think there's tons of stuff that slips through the cracks. I think.
Yeah. That was on the Annapurna showcase, and I forget who it was. Forgive me, but they wrote in just asking if we had thoughts on that. Yeah, I talked about the Annapurna interactive showcase on MinnMax Council, our Patreon exclusive podcast, which you get access to if you support us over there on Patreon. But I don't know if anybody else watched that showcase, but like it was so good. Like genuinely the best presentation I saw throughout the entire summer for games. It was just relaxed. Every developer had a little segment. Some of them were genuinely funny. Like I was watching it by myself and laughing out loud at some of them. It just blew my mind how good each little snippet was. And it's just another reminder that Annapurna will not be stopped. And they are just apparently the peak of quality in the game industry. I don't know how it happened, but it's mind-boggling. Let's see. How do you define a bit? Oh, here we go. Taylor Owens asks, which Nintendo game has the best story?
Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess, #1 story?
Yeah, I think. I'll go to bat for that. I know that's a contentious pick, but
And
Midna alone carries that whole game. She has a character arc that's rare in Nintendo.
it's rare for a rare game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's tough because my mind immediately went to like thinking of just characters. And so I think of like, the first two Paper Marios, but it's like big picture wise, it's not exactly a riveting tale. But I mean, you'd have to go like Xenoblade, right? The first Xenoblade?
You can't count that.
Why not?
That's not what this person meant when they said Nintendo game.
I mean, I think it technically counts as a Nintendo game, but you're right. Yoshi's Story, it's right in there. They wouldn't have put it in the title if it wasn't a powerful tale. Yeah. Yoshi Has a Story was the original
That'd be
name.
false advertising otherwise.
That's true. Dan Vallone writes in and says, hey, we just recorded a thank you video because he supported us on Patreon. Remember doing that before the show? Do you remember that, fellas? Anyways, Dan says, hi, gang. If you're in a car and someone tells you to turn the AC down, does that mean, #1, the car is too warm, make it colder? Or 2, the fan is blowing hard and I'm cold, please turn down the fan? Please note, my wife is always right about everything and I could really use a win with this one. This is the biggest slam dunk I've ever seen in my life.
You know, if he wanted a win, he should have told us which one he wants it to be.
No, this is more fair. This is a legit. This is a legit win from Dan here. All right, so #1 is the car is too warm. #2 is the fan is blowing too hard and I'm cold.
And
#2.
The statement is turn the AC down?
Turn the AC down is the message. It is #2 by a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah. When is AC ever warm? When is it like, turn the AC on to get cozy?
No, he's saying turn the AC down, meaning like turn the temperature down on the air conditioning. But that's the most complicated nonsense. Everybody in Backstage Pass is screaming #2. Leo, you're squinting. Did I mess up the logic of this?
Turn the temperature down means increase the air conditioning.
Right, but turn the AC down means bring the temperature up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gets confused. I think it's more confusing when you're talking about a thermostat in a house, because that sometimes happens with my wife and I, where she'll be like, turn the thermostat up, which I would take to mean turn the degrees on the thermostat up.
Oh, God.
So that it would get warmer, even though it's the air conditioning.
Marriage sounds difficult. It's all about communication is what they say, you know? John writes in and says, in the way that arguments tend to start, my wife and I got into a rather exciting debate about the impact of certain fantasy works. I thought it'd be interesting to pose the question to a wider audience. We'll settle any debates between you and your spouse. Just send them in. That's what we're good for. The question is, in the last decade, the last 10 years, which do you think has had a larger cultural impact? Lord of the Rings or Skyrim? Haley, is that a Skyrim map behind you? What am I looking at?
It's a Lord of the Rings map.
Oh, interesting.
That's really weird that you thought it was.
That is weird. All right.
I say Lord of the Rings, right? Like, come on, that's
Gotta be Lord of the Rings.
But last
hugely
10
influential.
years, I mean, that's like Hobbit
yeah.
stuff.
Wait, how many years?
Last 10 years.
And
Oh, weird.
it's Skyrim.
When did Skyrim come out?
November 11th, 2011. So exactly 10 years ago. I think I might go Skyrim here. And this is where I can just pull out the cool hip young person card. But like, you think about the Skyrim memes. You think about the stupid surprise cutting to the intro of Skyrim. There's probably 60,000 Skyrim TikToks going up this very second. People getting the Skyrim logo tattooed on their chest.
It's memes too, though, you know? Boromir at the table?
Come on.
name
At the
one?
table?
That huge Gollum game coming up. All I hear about is the Gollum game.
Oh, crap. We forgot to include that in our big rundown of 2021 games.
Lord of the Rings is just so much more universal, though. Like in Skyrim, you get a
Cultural
little
impact.
bleed out from video game culture to like maybe someone's heard a Skyrim meme, but they don't understand what it is.
Yeah.
But everyone knows Lord of the Rings.
But I would argue that yes, but it was 2001 to 2003 when the cultural impact shifted. There was the trajectory of society, and then it was bonk, Lord of the Rings, then it shifted a little bit. Whereas in the last 10 years, it hasn't had a huge cultural impact. It's just been there. Is that a stupid way of looking at it?
Do you think that seeded impact, that like it's had that time to like ruminate, that's more influential than the last 10 years of Skyrim? That's been more like
would we have
eye?
would we have Game of Thrones if we didn't have Lord of the Rings first?
Yeah, but last 10 years, I mean, that's so if you're counting, so the argument, Haley, is everything that's seeded out from Lord of the Rings over the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe that's a weird way of looking at it. You might be right. All right, I'll shift it to Lord of the Rings.
I like how it became us convincing Ben to change his answer than just answering.
I'll go with it. Connor Frew writes in, so this is for Haley. Now that we've all heard the question, has being a gamer changed the way you look at laws? But I want to know, has being a lawyer changed the way you look at games?
I read terms and conditions now.
Do you really?
Wow.
I know what they mean, and it's actually interesting to see what they shove in there. It's actually kind of fun.
You read the whole thing?
Well, not the whole thing. Like I'll look through the headings, and if there's a contentious intellectual property bit, I might like delve in with a cup of coffee and actually look through it. Like Warzone updated their terms the other day, and I actually read most of it, and it was interesting.
Is there anything that stands out that lay people don't understand?
It's mostly just, it's interesting because it's third-party IP rights, I think, is always interesting. Like, what are they taking your data and giving it to other people? Because there's that South Park episode where you agree to Apple's terms, and then all of a sudden they're all sewed together.
Right,
and it's like,
right.
You signed this, that's, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
so they sneak, like, it's crazy what you can sneak in there. So,
Watch
not that
out.
you have to read them, but it's kind of fun, too.
And that's kind of your specialty in law?
Yeah, like that and intellectual property are my two favorite things.
Huh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. Thank you for being smart and smarter than us and dedicating yourself to an interesting field that has taken how many years of schooling now?
It's 3, and then 4. Right now I'm working, which is like an articling job. So it's kind of like a residency for doctors. You have to work under like a principal lawyer for a year before they let you do lawyery things.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's not so bad, Jeff. You could do this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Purebred number 6 says, hey, Ben and friends, what's your most humbling gaming experience? I remember finally beating Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat thinking I was the best on the block, only to go online and get smoked in my first match. Most humbling gaming experience.
I remember early Great Goaty Hunt, I was on booting up Spellbreak before the stream to like make sure it was running good and winning my first match or two. And then booting up the stream, like, yeah, this game's cool, and I'm actually kind of good at it. And then just getting annihilated because everybody wins their first matches of Spellbreak because you're always against bots. and people didn't know that when it first came out.
Yeah, that was the Great Cody Hunt stream where you had a bit of an emotional breakdown throughout it and really got existential.
That famous one.
Yeah. The Hall of Fame for MinnMax, I got to say. And Leo's the only person to ever be humbled, so congratulations. That was supposed to be really good. Mason Parker writes in and says, hey, Ben and the Video Gamers. Here's a little game I like to call Best at Their Worst. It's easy to guess which game has the highest rated game has the highest rated game between rival franchises. But for this, you have to choose which franchise's worst game has the better score, according to Metacritic. Good luck. There's no mobile games, ports, DLC, or collections here. Based on pure, real games. Like, some side games and stuff, but you'll understand the limit. Okay, so you're trying to guess which franchise has the worst game, has the better score, meaning I think that means this is like AC down or up. So we're looking for the lowest score wins.
No, we want the higher
Okay,
score,
the best
right?
of the worst. Okay,
Higher
yes.
score for their lowest game.
Yes, thank you. All right, Silent Hill versus Resident Evil. Jeffem, what do you think? Which game has the higher score for the lowest scoring game?
Resident Evil.
The answer is Silent Hill Book of Memories, coming in on the PS Vita at a 58 on Metacritic, whereas Resident Evil Survivor on the original PlayStation is a 39. I'm very sorry.
I was thinking Resident Evil's had some real turds.
Secret
I was thinking
turds.
Silent Hills had some real turds too.
Plenty of turds to go around. Leo, Forza versus Gran Turismo. They're all good.
Either of those had weird spin-offs?
I don't know.
I'm gonna guess Gran Turismo.
I'm sorry. Gran Turismo, the real driving simulator on PSP, is at a 74 on Metacritic, whereas Forza Motorsport 5 on Xbox One was a 79.
Those are still really high.
I know. It's a good franchise, but that was the one that was all microtransaction-y, I think. So that's the one that really tanked it for the reviews. All right, Haley, this is for you.
Okay.
Mainline Mario or mainline Sonic?
This feels like a trick question because Sonic has some huge stinkers that I know get.
Okay.
But where's what's a Mario that was really bad?
But what even is mainline Sonic?
Mainline.
1, 2, and 3?
Sonic.
all of
Doesn't
them.
Sonic go 6? Didn't that just get obliterated on Metacritic? I'm going to say Mario, and this isn't a trick question, and that's the right answer.
It is Mario. It is not a trick question.
Okay.
The lowest scoring mainline Mario is New Super Mario Bros. 2, which is a 78. And then Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, the Wii U
Sonic
edition,
Boom, that's what it
is a 32 on Metacritic.
As mainline as it gets.
Jeffem, is this dumb? I kind of want to do like the deepest dive on New Super Mario Bros. 2. Like a game that barely anybody has ever talked about, but wouldn't it be kind of fun to like just talk extensively about the level design in Super Mario Bros. 2?
Sure.
All right, Jeffem's on board.
I don't know how long that conversation would go.
Yeah, you're right. Probably for you,
Like
45-minute
I don't know.
dive.
You jumped over a big pit onto like a little platform.
Remember that one? No,
Huzzah.
not that little platform. The one where it's kind of like there's a tree on it. Oh,
I can tell you're thinking about the wrong platform.
Jeffem, Call of Duty versus Battlefield. He's thinking very hard. I don't know what about.
I'm gonna say Call of Duty.
I'm sorry. Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified on the Vita is a 33 on Metacritic compared to Battlefield Hardline, 71. I'm sorry. All right, Leo.
It's those damn portable ones that get you every time.
Every time. Leo, we got GTA versus Saints Row.
Oh. Saints Row is higher.
Correct. The original Grand Theft Auto ported to the Game Boy Advance is a 68 on Metacritic. Compared to Saints Row 2, which is a 72, apparently.
That's the lowest rated of the Saints Rows?
Yeah, apparently.
That's wild.
Pretty good. They
I think
were
that game is a
making...
huge step up.
At some point, Volition was making a portable, like a Saints Row game for the PSP. And I thought it was really cool. They just went on like the studio YouTube channel and showed off like, hey, here's everything about our Saints Row game. I like it when studios just say, F it, we'll show you everything we got. All right, Haley, Rock Band versus Guitar Hero.
Oh, how many they did Rock Band Beatles, they did Rock Band. That was good though.
It's very good.
I'm gonna say Guitar Hero.
It is Rock Band. Lego Rock Band's the lowest scoring on the Wii. It has
Lego?
a 70. Yep.
What is that game? Lego Rock Band?
It's actually kind of cool. It's a bunch of like family-friendly songs, and the notes coming down the track are actually like little Legos coming down.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. And I remember it stood out to me as I think the first time maybe I visited Traveler's Tales and TT Games over there for Game Informer cover story trip. I remember talking to like the head of TT Games. He was making that point of like, oh, everybody just accuses us of only doing games to promote the sets and stuff, and it's all just some big thing. But he's like, look, we did Lego Rock Band. Like, we weren't promoting Lego sets in any way. That was just pure for the love of the game itself. And it's like, that's true. We have one case in point.
One example.
But then the lowest is Guitar Hero Van Halen on the Wii, got a 50. I'm very sorry to Van Halen.
Okay.
All right, Jeff, and last one. Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
The answer is Street Fighter. The lowest there is Street Fighter EX3 for PS2. Got a 64, whereas Mortal Kombat Special Forces on the original PlayStation is at a 28. Very low. All right, that's it. Thank you so much, Mason Parker, for writing in with that game. Haley, what jumps
really
out
fun
to you as the best question of the week here?
I liked the pre-launch exciting story. I thought that was fun. It's a tie between that and the game we just played for me, honestly. I think I'm leaning towards the game.
Okay. Jeff,
Yeah.
Leo, how y'all feeling?
The game was good. The Lord of the Rings versus Skyrim one was interesting.
That is
We'll
interesting.
talk more about that.
Yeah, that's true. Jeff, what are you thinking?
So I like the Lord of the Rings one too.
Okay, Haley.
I can sway to Lord of the Rings one because I agree that one was really good too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Then we'll give it to John. Congratulations, John. I'm not sure who won that debate between you and your wife, one of the two this week, but you now are the winner of Kentucky Route Zero on the Switch. So congratulations, and thanks to IM8bit, and everybody can help thank IM8bit by going to their store and using that promo code. Who could forget what it was? It's unforgettable. When you go to their store, you just have to type in catfish, all one word, for 10% off. Now it's time for something we like to call Get a Load of This. Okay, Haley. Pressure's on.
first.
It needs to be very good.
first.
Do you don't need to go first, but you can if you want to.
I'll go first.
Okay. Bold move.
Okay, so get a load of this.
Nice.
Purdue University took too many freshmen. It took the most freshmen that they've ever taken in 40 years, apparently. So they don't have enough beds. So they're taking all the conference halls and just, it's like a prison. And they just have, the dressers are the separators for the room. And they're filled with beds. I have a picture I can drop in the chat.
Oh my God. Yeah, there's links below for all this stuff. Which university is this?
Purdue?
Purdue.
Where's
Yeah.
that?
I don't know.
No one knows.
I didn't look it. I didn't look it up. I don't want to go there.
I'm going to say North Carolina or something. So it's just like the worst possible housing.
Yeah, so someone on TikTok posted it being like, look where I'm going to university this year. And, Purdue said, oh, well, this is only going to be for a little bit of time. And actually, students love it because they become such close friends.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Go sleep in the foxhole. You guys will really get along. Indiana apparently is where Purdue's at. That sounds miserable.
If you
And
guys
it's only-
showed up to your first day and you'd already, you're excited to go to university, would you leave if you saw that was where you're sleeping?
No, I think I'd be kind of excited about being such good buddies with everybody. No, yeah, I think I'd be on board. It's already a weird adventure. Like, I feel like they could have lit my clothes on fire the first day I showed up at college, and there's already so many new sensations and feelings, that it's like, whatever. How weird could this get? It's all just.
Think about the alarms, though. All the guys that get up at 6 a.m. to go to the gym.
Oh God, that's true.
Yeah.
I did get crammed into what they called a 4-person suite in my dorms at the University of Minnesota. And then you get there and it's like, when you see that in an email, it's like, oh, I was upgraded to a suite. This is gonna be great. And it was just like a tiny room that they crammed 4 people into. And we had like 2 bunk beds. And so it was.
But they called it a suite.
So that's the catch.
Ya.
That's what Purdue has to do, I think. Just call it suite. Jeffem, you got one?
Yeah, get a load of this. Full disclosure, this one was also shared in the Get a Load of This Discord, but I had already picked it.
Okay.
And it's a great one. It's a YouTube video from NBC's Olympics coverage, which I'm not a huge fan of to begin with. But the video is called Top High Jumpers Decide to Share Gold in Instant Classic Final. And it's basically there was an athlete from Qatar and an athlete from Italy, and they were, they take turns doing these ridiculous high jump bars, and neither of them missed a jump the entire time, which I think is what the tiebreaker normally is. until they got to a level that neither of them could do. And so they called them both over, and they were both cheering each other on the entire time too. It was very good sportsmanship, but they called them both over and they were like, look, you can either do a jump off where you will go down to a lower level and you'll do it, or we can just call it a tie. And the guy from Qatar kind of looks confused and he goes, so 2 golds? And the guy said, yeah, it's possible. And the two athletes just looked at each other and they kind of nodded a little bit, and then they started hugging and they freaked out like anyone who's like no one's ever been more excited to win a gold, but they didn't care at all that they were sharing it, and they were both crying and rolling around on the ground, and it's just the nicest moment of sportsmanship that you'll ever see.
That's beautiful. Yeah, link below if you want to see it. Let's see. For me, I heard in the news last week that apparently next year, I think it's next year, that Arthur, the TV series, is coming to an end, which blew my mind because I'm like, Arthur's still on the air? They're still making new episodes?
The Aardvark?
The lovable Aardvark, the very same, yeah.
Oh my God, I used to watch that show at lunchtime every day when I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
So they're still going? What?
Yeah. So I saw this and then I said, hey, what are the longest running animated shows of all time? And you think like, okay, The Simpsons, you got some other ones up there. Then came across this German show called Sandmännchen. I'm sorry for my pronunciation, but it means Little Sandman. Leo, guess how many episodes they've aired of Little Sandman, this stop motion animated series from Germany?
Stop motion? Oh my God, that takes time too.
100?
100 is Leo's guess. The answer is 22,200 episodes.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Like it started in, I think, the 50s, and with West Germany and East Germany, they had 2 different versions of the Little Sandman animated show. And then when Germany united, apparently the East German version, everyone's like, oh, this one's 1,000 times better. So it just completely annihilated the West one. And that one just like ceased to exist. And then the East German series has continued to this day. Like they're on 61 seasons of the adventures of Little Sandman. 22,000 episodes. The Simpsons is at 700. And we're like, how are they still coming up with new ideas? It's absurd.
The fact that it's stop motion blows my mind. Doesn't it take like 60 poses for a second?
Yeah. And I was trying to find like, is it still stop motion? Because YouTube is just scattered. I saw some animated stuff in here, but...
22,000 in 61 seasons is 360 episodes per season.
Oh my God. Leo, maybe it was a typo on Wikipedia, but that is what they said. So everyone needs to go watch Little Sandman. Let's see, Leo, you got one?
Yeah, get a load of this. It's a few months old, but I didn't know about it, and it's been life-changing for me. Oculus Quest, you can always link up to your computer, and you have to buy a special cable to do it to play your PC games, but no longer. Under the experimental features, the settings in your Oculus app on PC and in your Oculus Quest headset, you can just turn on something called AirLink, and it is completely effortless to just stream your PC VR games over Wi-Fi to your headset if you have good internet. And I just don't notice any lag at all, pretty much.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's made it so easy to play VR games without cables, which I adore. Being able to crouch down and do all the stuff that was weird with my sensors on my old Rift.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. What a fun little fact. Jeff, did you pull one from the community in the Discord?
Yeah, get a load of this.
Okay.
This isn't a fun one, but it's from Nick from Atlanta, and it's the Kotaku article that's entitled "What Really Happened at That BlizzCon Panel According to the Woman in the Video."
Oh,
and
yeah.
They tracked down the lady who had asked that question and got booed by the audience, and she kind of walks people through what it was like then and what it's been like since, and has a lot of thoughts to share that were really interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. Click through. Check it out. Haley, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm sorry it took me so long to think of course, Haley should be on the show.
That's okay.
Would you like to plug anything?
that you haven't plugged already?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I already
good.
got to plug at the top of the show, so that's great. I'm Haley Fax on Twitter, and I guess just Game and Makeup on Twitter. We just dropped the Resident Evil 4 episode today, actually.
Ooh,
So
nice.
that's on YouTube, and that was a really fun one because as much as I hated it in the first 4 hours, I loved it ish in the last 10. So I didn't think I was gonna.
Yeah.
So it made for a good podcast. It was fun.
Oh, awesome. That's great. Let's see. On MinnMax's side of things, we have the Dead Space Deepest Dive that's live now on YouTube. If you want to unlock the podcast version of the best, most thorough discussion about Dead Space 1 on the internet, you can always support us on Patreon and help support the format moving forward. We have Trivia Tower returning this month. It looks like it's going to be Monday, August 16th. Monday, August 16th in the evening will be the next competition for Trivia Tower. So if you support us at any tier over at patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's, you can compete in video game trivia to win an Astro A40 headset and a bunch of free game codes along the way. And we'll announce the special guest very soon for that. Also, we have the grand finale for the Lord of the Rings commentary. Because it's the most culturally influential thing of the last 10 years, we've been doing a big commentary track for all of them. Leo joined Ronnie and I for the first. Ronnie's my old childhood friend and all this stuff. Jeffin was there for 2 towers. And for Lord of the Rings Return of the King, we are having an E3 King return by having Jeff Cork join us at the table for an in-person commentary track. And it's basically just like a really long podcast about Lord of the Rings and several other things. Yes, Leo?
Yeah. You said about Lord of the Rings, and I might have had an issue with that, but you went on. So
Yeah, all right. We mix it up, but they're long versions of commentary tracks because these are the extended editions. So if you want to unlock the podcast version of the commentary tracks and just listen to it like a Lord of the Rings podcast or watch the movie alongside of us, you can do it by supporting us over on Patreon. We recorded those all as a big thank you to folks for when we hit 2,500 supporters on Patreon. So I hope you all have been enjoying it. It's been an interesting journey along the way, and we'll say goodbye to all of our friends this week as we release it probably on Friday or maybe Monday of next week for Return of the King. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Jeff, thank you for being here. Leo, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
You're welcome.
There it is. And thank you to everybody at the Thank You Crew, the $50 tier over there on Patreon. I'm talking about Hello Hyrule Podcast, I Am 8-Bit, Fixture Gaming, Mirko Rico Torreno, Beaten Down Brian, Zachary Pliggy, Andrew Ukrowitz, Jawar Hello, Mark Seliga, PrettyGoodPrinting.com, Connor McCabe, Ludwig Roque, John Higby, Best of the Rest Podcast. You know who's coming up next, Leo?
Hit me.
Andrew Vala, Logan Kraus, Spiral in Your Eyes, Drew Warrenes, Clint Farley, Spider Dan, Purebred number 6, Star Killer, Steve Bamdad, Slick Nick, and Preetham Yarla Gada. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time. Be good, have fun, let's go.